turn this down. Hi. So, yeah.
John. I'm going to hand
We're
this
not
one
doing
to you,
Notion Nerds anymore. For a while. So, yeah. Bye.
Great. Thanks, John. Just leave them on a cliffhanger.
That's what I do best. So,
Yeah.
in all seriousness, the Notion Nerds, this is the last Notion Nerds live stream and podcast episode for a little while.
I still need to sort out the two we've pre-recorded, so I still need to get those up.
There'll be a few that are pre-recorded that we've already done. They'll go up. A kind of hiatus of the Notion Nerds.
Yeah, a little bit sad, but I will say, scared me for a bit because I had the tab open and it just started playing. Oh,
Boo!
Scary. I mean, I don't want to just leave it. And then Notion is like shock horror. Yeah, I mean, so obviously all of you that are listening, watching now, know that both of us have our own like lives outside of Notion Nerds. I'm doing my stuff on my channel. John does his stuff, and I don't want to speak for John. I'm going to leave it to John.
Wow, he's going to let me speak, guys. He's actually going to let me speak on the final episode, guys. He's going to let me actually speak.
I was letting you speak. I didn't even use it. But yeah, so
I just love the fact I interrupted you to tell you you're finally letting me speak. Just subtle. Carry on.
Okay. Twat. So essentially, both of us have our own stuff that's going on. I'm not doing anything different, like live streaming wise on my channel. Anyone that's following me, like, sort of knows what's going on with the streams. But when it comes to business, moving things forwards and things like that, for me, I'm doing fine. But fun first. But some people have responsibilities. Also, if you actually let you speak, I was going to say some people have other responsibilities because they're like old and responsible. So I'm going to leave it to the ancient guy over this side.
Ancient guy, jeez! Wow, you actually pointed in the right direction. This is a sad day.
I know, that's because I was pointing earlier. I was like, right hand. No, it's left hand.
So just to catch you guys up for people who have just come in, the Notion Nerds is going on a mini hiatus, purely because of me. It's my fault, and I'm so happy with it. Just to give me a chance to catch up with some work, doing some boring stuff. This has always been fun first for both of us. It's all about having as much fun,
as possible.
As possible, and it was getting harder and harder for me to keep up with all of the other stuff that I have to do, and this, and grow my. I am now 29. I think I'm hitting 30 this year, so I know.
I got like 6 years.
But basically, like, I am still going to be streaming. That's not going to change, but I will be streaming more on my channel where I'll actually get to speak for a change. We'll be streaming on my channel, my own personal channel, just for a while, and it is just don't point on me, Danny, because I am ancient. Well, you're not ancient. You're not ancient. It's fine. We're only as old as we think we are. My birthday is September 17th. Kim, it's September 17th. But yeah, so we're going to be taking a mini hiatus.
I didn't say I was talking about biological age.
Well, we're talking about actual age, then you definitely are like 6. I think half the time my children are more mature than you, and they're 8.
Sounds about right. Biological age and mental age are poles apart.
At least you admit to it.
Oh yeah. Embrace yourself. Be yourself.
Embrace yourself.
Exactly. I am an immature, childish nerd that pretends to be smart because I have a piece of paper that says so.
A piece of paper you worked 4 years, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years?
3 years for the undergrad, 2 years for the master's. So 3 for one bit of paper, 2 for another bit of paper. Both of them I could just tear up and it would mean nothing. Yep.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It means I spent a lot of money to get a piece of paper with my name on it. I could do that in HTML now. I can put my name on a page.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Kim, 4 days older. Oh, wow, that's cool. Only 4 days. Nice.
Very close.
So yeah, I will be still going live. Like my what?
I told you were old.
Yeah, well, Nerdy Notioneer says otherwise. So y'all are still young. So there we go.
I don't think we ever really grow up.
No.
Peter Pan.
No. Absolutely.
Fairy dust and flying pants all day.
I worry about you. Yeah, so I will be going live on my own channel. I will be inviting guests on, people who use Notion a little differently, because we've all seen the business dashboards. We've all seen the but we just don't see personal stuff, like people who actually have family and other responsibilities and things that they want to store. And we see a lot of student databases. Thank you, Danny. I think you kind of pioneered that one, the student thing. You and Red, I think. Is it you and Red?
What? The student databases? Hello? Have you not seen the doctor that does the YouTube stuff that made everyone make a residence calendar?
Oh, what's his name?
He's not that popular on YouTube.
No. Yeah, but you came in.
I think he talks about
full
a lot.
No, I don't think it's him. Who's that? Who's that? I've never heard of him before. Have you?
No.
Is he a big channel? Yeah, Kim's got it. Kim got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Arnie. Who knows? I don't know.
Arnie. Arnold.
True. I gave you 3 hours, if I remember rightly.
Get it right, gosh.
3. Not 1, 3. 3 hours. I'll give you 3 hours. I want to bring more people on who are. For me, like, my focus is to bring on more people who just are different. Like, in this space, we have perfect dashboard, perfect databases, perfect systems, perfect this, perfect that.
Perfect.
Well, that's the approach that people bring. Like, it's the optimizing for like the best possible you. And I want to bring on people who have a different way of doing things because it works for them. Because it's personal to them. I have a wonderful business owner who runs a business fully supporting people with ADHD and neurodiversity. She has a whole Notion system and a whole like template that she sells, and I'm really excited to be talking to her. Obviously, there's a high chance I might possibly, don't know yet, might bring the Notion Golf back on, because I know that her system has changed a lot in the last 3 days, because we've both been changing our systems a lot in the last 3 days. So much so, someone who doesn't sleep late went to bed at 2 a.m. only because he could no longer see the Notion screen.
I can't see what database this is. I should probably go to
Just
bed.
like, what is this now? I can't. Okay. Eyes are blurry now. Okay, I think I'll go to bed now. I think I'll go to sleep. I guess.
Yeah, let's not talk about my sleep.
My learning library is done.
Yeah, let's not talk about my sleep schedule.
No. Well, I mean, you don't have any. You can get up whenever you like. They're just like, oh, he's asleep. All right, I'll leave him.
To an extent,
I get, Daddy, when is breakfast? When's breakfast? I'm hungry.
You'll have it when I wake up. Yeah. So the podcast is probably going to be on the biggest break or the longest break.
Yes.
Yeah. The streams, however, I don't know, may pop back a couple months. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it is, and obviously you'll be able to follow both of us. Chances are we'll still appear on each other's channels sometimes. You know, I mean, he's very famous now, so he may not. You know,
famous? I wouldn't say that.
Well, famous or popular.
I just stream every day for 2 hours talking about squirrels, oranges, banana pizza. You know,
banana pizza.
Do you know that reference? Were you in the stream when we were talking about banana pizza? Yeah, you.
I wasn't on the stream, but you talked to me about it on Wednesday.
Yes. I'm sure everyone else knows about
pizza.
Peanut butter, oranges, and banana pizza. And something that John and I did discuss briefly before the stream started is, does everyone know Ice Age and the squirrel that chases the nut? I feel like my mascot needs to be a squirrel chasing an orange in space. But yeah, I mean, that was a squirrel moment. Let's get back to some serious stuff when it comes to posting. So what's going to happen with the YouTube channel and the podcast is sort of they'll still be there. They're not going anywhere.
They'll still be there. Both of us will still manage it as always. Manage it. We'll both be there. The community is not going anywhere. Like, we have no intentions of never coming back. It's just a moment of... It's, as you were saying, it's a Tigger moment, TTFN, ta-ta for now. It's just a break. We were on a break! And anyone who doesn't get that reference cannot be here anymore.
Do you eat honey?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, because we could bring the family, we could have Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, Piglet. We could bring them all in, but you don't eat honey, so I eat loads of honey. Maybe I'm Winnie the Pooh, but then I'm a Tigger because I don't really stop bouncing around and moving either. I'm a Tigger Pooh.
You didn't think about how did you if we said that?
No.
You did not think about that before you said it.
Right. This is how my brain works, okay? Idea pops out, goes straight out my mouth. No censor, no filter. Something comes up, something appears in here. It either comes out my mouth or on the page, which is why I never share my database with anyone.
Where you're what?
I don't share my notes database with anyone because anything that comes into here is in my notes database.
That would be a really, really scary thing. And I know, Sinead, this may be your biggest challenge. Create an icon with a squirrel in space chasing an orange. It will be epic. That would be really funny.
How you would manage to see that in Notion. But yeah, that would be cool. Again, no idea how you'd see it. Maybe they're just wearing.
I can't even visualize it.
Maybe you just pick a
I
t-shirt.
can't even. Wow, I can't even visualize that right now.
Oh, I can see the squirrel just like reaching up at the orange as if like it's as if it's like a spacey thing. Like you know, if you got where is the planet? Oh, the planet's the other side. Where I got the planet there, I can see.
Did you lose your planet there?
I was like, "Where's the planet?" Yeah, because it's the big planet's that side. I can imagine the planet being an orange, and then like the squirrel being like orange. Exactly. You know, in the Ice Ages, it's just like it's reaching out, it's almost there, and then something drastic happens, like a meteor just moves.
I made the blur change. That's funny. What?
So this is where my brain has just gone. Okay, I can see it now. The squirrel with a space helmet on,
guys.
Chasing the orange in space, almost getting there, and then it getting knocked, and then it having to like move itself in space.
That's great. Funny,
yeah. Okay. That's when my brain's gone. Yeah. Anyway.
Hi, Roxanne. Good to see you.
Perfect.
We're just having a moment here. So yeah, just for
a little squirrel moment.
Just a little squirrel moment about squirrels and oranges and space. You can definitely tell Danny's here.
Hi guys.
Yeah, we're going on a mini hiatus. Wow, a hiatus. I want to just say mini, but who knows what will happen, especially at the moment. So we are going on a hiatus. This will be the last episode of the live stream for now. Yes, you did. You did come in a weird time about squirrels. I mean, what do you expect? Does anyone else think that Danny needs his own film company to make these random moments reality? I, for one, would love to see the squirrel. So would I.
If I was any good at creating like graphics or film or anything like that, I would. But like, John's like, what? We could bring together.
My brain's making it in because, of course, you could get the stock footage. You could get like an animated character which looks like a squirrel. You could get stock footage of space, and then you could just replace you could take the planet, put a filter around the planet, and turn it bright orange to make it an orange.
And then we need to put a bobblehead in there somewhere.
Of course,
the bobblehead can be in the planet, and they're like, "Yes, you're almost there."
Yeah, Danny learned that in 2021.
Okay. If you don't see me for the next month, that is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would quite like to see you trying to stream that. I would like to see you try to create that on your current computer.
Forget minimalism on Netflix. We have a squirrel chasing an orange in space. Oh dear.
Coming soon.
Oh dear.
Coming soon to a cinema near you. Get coding. The Notion Nerds community needs animations. Yes.
Oh.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, I've got some fun ideas related to the coding. So I'm not going to give up on the coding. I'm not going to say what the ideas are because I don't know whether they're going to happen, and I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to happen or how I'm going to make them happen or anything. Like John knows a little bit. Actually, John knows a lot of the ideas. Well, I say a lot of them. He knows like 4 of the. I think I have like 217 that came from my little spurt yesterday. John knows what the ideas are around. So coding's not going anywhere, but graphics could be fun. What was that comment from Debbie, by the way?
Oh, yes. A squirrely moment just popping through on my way out the door. Sounds like you're having fun. Yes, that is what we do here.
Yup. If I'm not having fun, then I'm not living. Gone deep.
No.
We're going deep.
And Nerdy Notion here has just given up. I can't blame you.
Okay.
I would.
I don't know whether anyone is laughing or whether they're just staring at their screen like straight face. But if you're not laughing, I don't know why you're still watching.
Well, there's 11 people dealing with this, so well done.
Yes.
We're using StreamYard, which is absolutely amazing. We use StreamYard purely because we're both on Windows, and it works on both Windows and Mac, whereas Ecamm Live only works on Mac.
Yeah.
So we're using StreamYard for this. It is a fantastic tool. I actually find this a little easier than Ecamm. Ecamm's a bit lots of things everywhere. So yeah, StreamYard.
When it comes to the tools for streaming, there are loads of tools out there. Restream is another one that's very similar to StreamYard. I will say Restream has more features and it is mildly better, but it is more expensive. And then with the...
I wouldn't say it's better. What do you mean by better? I suppose you can connect OBS to it.
You can connect OBS to it. You can get the chat on stream. You can put longer videos in there. You can get higher res videos in there. You can get transparent videos in there. So a lot of it is more the overlay aspects. You can also...
That's true. There are better overlays in that. Yeah,
it's more expensive.
Same with it's the same with Ecamm as well. You can have transparency stuff as well.
Well, yeah. So
please just start streaming code, and I would be happy for the rest of my life. If I restarted doing coding again, we would have to put a warning, mature language thing, and basically never be monetized.
Yeah,
because I am impatient.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to code, so I imagine a lot of it will be, what does this mean, Google? What does this mean, Google? How do I do this, Google? Help me, YouTube, Google. And then me trying to recreate it and it going, it still doesn't fucking work.
That is literally what will happen. That has happened. And half the time when you're Googling it, you'll end up going, all right. Yeah. My big problem is, of course, in case you don't know this, I like courses. And here he goes again with his eye roll. There you go. See, look at that. There's the face. There's the I can learn everything for free on YouTube.
The coding on the YouTube front with the learning is dreadfully painful, and I would say it's worse. It's more painful learning how to code on YouTube than it was sitting in. I was gonna say the name of the lecturer, but none of you know the name. It's sitting in like lecturers' presentations where they're literally reading off a PowerPoint in a monotone voice. Like, learning how to code on YouTube is worse than that. It is so painful. I have not found a single video on YouTube that teaches me how to code that isn't dreadfully boring, monotonous, and painful, and doesn't actually answer a lot of the questions I have.
Integromat videos.
Sorry?
Integromat videos.
No.
That was a painful couple of hours.
I couldn't. I watched it on ×2 speed, and I was like, I can't watch this. I had to use the extension ×3 speed. I still couldn't. I just couldn't consume it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to spend 2 hours.
It was just like, it's for coders. It's for coders. You can tell it's for coders because they're boring as. No offense to coders in the audience. Let's face it. They wouldn't be here if they were coders.
I can put my name in a web page. I'm now a coder. I can
code a dot.
I can put headings on a page. I can put links in a page. I think that's about the extent of my knowledge. I could put like a table. I can put a table in a page. Yeah, like real basic HTML, which is essentially Markdown, which I already knew from Notion.
Good, yeah, you'll get there. So I know my way around building a website. I've known it for a while, so I could build a custom website myself. But as the thing of everything we do, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, when you think about the topics of videos I'm thinking about.
Oh, could you just tell people because you're boring?
Okay. Well, I think a lot of these people already know that I've tested out Notion and made a database with 100,000 pages. If you don't, I did. And I wanted to see if it broke Notion. So to give you a bit of background, I made a page, like a database in Notion that has 100,000 pages and it has 27 properties in it. And I scrolled all the way down from the top to the bottom to see if it slowed down. When you get to about 57,000, 58,000, it does start to slow down a little bit and go, hold up a second, I need to load the pages. And then when you get to about 60,000, it sort of wakes itself up again, and then you're good until you get to 100,000. And I haven't made a video on that, I just did it. So I figured, let's make a video on going further and seeing how far I can break it. Basically, I see the unlimited written in the packages. So I'm like, unlimited. What is unlimited? Let's do this.
Notion team, we know that some of you watch this.
Bring it on.
Good luck.
You are going to have the full force of my obsession with breaking something. Through traditional uses. I'm not going to go into the back end and code and break it that way, because that's cheating. I'm just going to test your unlimited to the point of breaking. Basically, if it takes me a month to add 3 million pages in the database, so be it. I will do it.
You won't do that. You will literally cheat, get a spreadsheet, and do it that way.
It's limited. You can only import a 10,000 row spreadsheet because the CSV file is too large, and Notion tells you that. So I'd have to repeat that process, however many multiples that is, 10,000 times whatever it is to get to 1 million. And trust me, I tried it, because I ain't gonna push enter every time I want a row. Enter. No.
No, you just need like
Auto clicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it. The auto clicker, like I couldn't. I mean, this is what probably the video will probably be me troubleshooting how to actually make this a thing, rather than sitting there just going import, because that's just a pain.
So if everyone loses everything in Notion, blame Danny. Yep.
Basically, if Notion are struggling,
Notion log him out now. Kick him out. Save yourselves.
I can see it now. People going into Reddit being like, is anyone else's Notion being slow? Yep. Loads of upvotes. And then just someone from here is like, Danny's probably making her video.
Have you worked with Wix? Is it a better way to build a web page than WordPress? That is a whole loaded, huge question that does not have an answer. It is the famous 2-word phrase.
It depends.
It depends. But in my personal opinion, it sucks.
I think it depends what you're building the website for. If it's a landing page you want up really quick, simple, easy, then yeah, go for it. Same as Squarespace.
No, you can just set up a free ConvertKit account and do it in ConvertKit.
That's if they want to use ConvertKit, or if they want to use Wix.
I mean, if you want to use Wix, but you got to have a reason for using it. Because if you're going to go with a page builder, Squarespace is actually better. Like, out of both, Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, go with Squarespace. It is. We are not sponsored, by the way.
Webflow's another one, isn't it?
Webflow is kind of in the middle between
WordPress, Ghost, and things like that, and
it's kind of in between WordPress. Yeah, Webflow is a very visual builder, but you've got to know how to code. If you're wanting to learn to code, try signing up for Webflow. It does teach you in a visual way. It teaches you how to structure your code properly. In all seriousness, I learned more about coding using Webflow than I did watching videos and courses about it. There is, of course, Google Sites.
Google Sites. Google Sites. That's your opinion of it, is it?
Well, yeah.
Google Sites.
Google Sites is an incredibly, really simple way. It depends on what you're building. So I know that Debbie is kind of a business owner as well. So I would go with something like Squarespace if you were to get started, and I would go with Squarespace.
What's your personal journey with websites? Maybe that will help give a bit of insight. Where did you start Where did you go? What did you do? What did you
So I went straight into WordPress because I tried using Squarespace. I tried using the other apps, and the apps are great if you don't have an idea of what you want to start with. If you don't mind it looking like everybody else's website, if you don't mind it looking like everybody else's website, then Squarespace is fantastic. I have used Wix before. I know that they are a lot better than they used to be. But honestly, Squarespace is a freaking beautiful, like simple, powerful as well. It is really well. When I'm comparing it to Wix, it's powerful. When I'm comparing it to WordPress or Ghost, which is flipping amazing. I love Ghost. So, but we'll get there in a minute. But my experience started with, I think it was Wix. Then I went to Squarespace, hated Squarespace, went to WordPress, went back to Squarespace, went back to WordPress, went to Webflow, went back to, and now I'm in WordPress because I don't manage my website. So my oh, blimmin' heck, really? That was a bit late. Discord just informed me that you're live. Oh wow, it really literally just informed us. Hi.
It's only been half an hour.
It's only been half an hour. You know, we haven't been through for that long. Yeah, so yeah, Squarespace will get you started. It's a good. It's not perfect, but it is a good place to just get something up, and get it up.
Yeah, I was going to say,
get the website up.
For me, I started with WordPress, used it, couldn't quite get to grips with the themes and the plugins and how it all worked because it is a little bit advanced. Isn't the word I want to use?
Hacky.
But yeah, sort of like hacky.
It's clunky. WordPress is freaking clunky.
Yeah, it's not a nice interface or user experience. You have to get used to it. So I was like, I don't like this, and went to Squarespace. And Squarespace was so easy. You just click the buttons and it's done. The limitation that came with Squarespace is when I wanted to customize it a little bit more for me, because I was like, oh, I have to pay for this, or I need this plan for that. And I was like, okay, I'm at a point now where Squarespace is becoming more expensive. So it's actually worth going back to WordPress and not paying for anything and just building it myself and learning. But I was at the point, because I've been using Squarespace, I understood how websites worked more than when I first started. So I went back to WordPress, and now I'm still on WordPress and using it. So I think if you're not very tech savvy with how websites work, how the layout works and the rest of it, potentially going to something like Squarespace to start with would be probably where I go towards. And then when you
if you want to build it yourself and learn a lot, then Squarespace is a good place to start. I wouldn't suggest this for you, Debbie, but because it's a discussion we're having, I actually use Ghost for my personal website, which is just like my personal blog, which I'm really enjoying. Like, so it's a really simple
dark mode.
Well, yes, of course. It's a really simple platform. It's really easy, and it's really just, nice to use. I need to log in. There we go. We need to log in. And it is beautiful for just writing posts. Like, you just come in. It's basically as close to Notion as you can get without being able to move the blocks around. So being able to just hit new post and being able to just do, I love that page. No, this is not Notion. You've got all the shortcuts of Notion.
This is an interface I'm seeing quite familiar as well. Like, exploring all the applications, the slash is becoming sort of not necessarily expected, but a lot of applications are using it. So getting used to this sort of interface with I think Notion were the first people that I saw use the slash for the drop down.
I have never seen it anywhere else. Yeah.
And now I'm seeing it pop up all over the place.
I really like how Ghost looks. I mean, my Ghost is incredibly minimal and very, very ridiculously simple, because I want it to be focused on like my blog posts, the ability to get, content from me, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, it's very minimal, and that's how I like it. Ghost does sound great, but just be aware that it is 35 if you want it. Hang on. I think it's $35
You don't know how much you pay
a
for it?
month. $29 a month if you bill annually, $36 a month if you bill monthly. However, I don't pay that. I pay $5 because I self-host it. So I host it myself on DigitalOcean. I host it on DigitalOcean, which is like $5 for a very simple setup. And because I'm so small and not many people look at it yet, it is
most of that
nice
payment is
and
for the
cheap.
hosting as well.
Yeah, the $39 is for the hosting as well. And I've paid a little bit extra for a really nice theme, which I really like. And so, yeah, and there's a lot you can do. I mean, mine is very boring, but just do it here. You've got this. This is obviously the Notion Goth's blog. And it's a little bit more visual and a little bit more appealing and a little bit more attractive.
Just looks better.
It looks really nice. And so you can have that. It does require a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of coding to get a certain few things working, depending on the theme you buy. This one did take quite a while. We had some fun. It was fun, wasn't it? Fun.
I'm getting a small hint. It took a bit of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Nah, it's whatever time at all. Nah, it's fine. So yeah, DigitalOcean is how we host it, and we self-host it. But that is not. that is what?
That's the name of my theme. Hello. It's like
it wasn't fun. It was migraine worthy. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I use a WordPress
Ghost is
called Hello, and it's very, very similar to what looks like John's theme, where it's just a blank canvas that you build on.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, one thing to say, if you self-host it, Debbie's out. Yeah, DigitalOcean is how we host it, and we install it. You've got to be familiar with code, and you've got to be willing. You've got to follow the step-by-step instructions, and sometimes they don't work. As the Notion Goth and I experienced. It is very easy to break, and you have to do a lot of the managing. You know, yeah, three of us working on it for about a week, and there are still absolutely. So I wouldn't, if you're gonna go with Ghost, spend the $29 a month to have it dealt with yourself. just spend the money and get it hosted if you're ready. So Kim was asking, I'm thinking about making myself a website since I just started my YouTube channel, but I have no idea where to start. Know why you want to create a website? What's the purpose of the website? It's really up to you. If you want a personal blog, then Ghost is pretty good. You can also host it on Medium. That's really easy. It's even easier, but it's not your platform. I'm very much someone who thinks you should have your own platform and host it elsewhere and not rely on everything else. Another really good thing about Ghost is it has membership capabilities, as you saw on my one. And I actually think
as you saw.
Mwah. You can see that the Notion Goth has this up here. We need to change this. This is not good. What is this? Anyway, yeah, as you can see, you can subscribe and have 5 or 50 and have things like that as well. That's something you can have, as well as email as well. Yeah. It's fantastic. It is really good. Yeah, it depends on what your website needs actually are.
Yeah, because I think when you look at websites, some websites are just static pages. It's just, this is a home page, this is an about page, here's where I'm doing stuff, and it points them in a direction. Maybe it's just a contact me page, or if it is a blog, then you'd need to actively update the blog wherever you're gonna put the pages and things like that. And some people just have 1 or 2 pages as their website. It depends what else you're doing.
And that's fine. So just to clarify with Ghost membership is just taking money and blog posts and stuff like that. It's not full-blown course creation, full-blown like course membership like a Mighty Network or a Circle or a Facebook group. It is nowhere near that intense. It is it's a primarily blogging platform. And if you want people to pay for writing, posts like a paid newsletter or a newsletter, that's kind of its main aim. So Ghosts can't really do that. If you're looking for something simple, I would definitely have a look. If your main focus is courses or course content, a good option is Member Vault, which I'm really liking. It's lovely. And it's nice and simple. Setting up courses is nice. It looks nice. It works nice. So Member Vault's pretty good. I like Member Vault. There are so many platforms. It just depends on what you need, what you want, and what's important to you.
And when you're going to host things as well, because if you are going to do a course or a membership, if you're using a different platform for that course or membership to your website, ideally you'd be able to link between the two some way or the other, and make it look relatively similar, I think, to keep the branding consistent, because I know some websites don't look like other websites.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
I know, right?
Absolutely crazy. If anyone does want to chat about like website platforms, that is part of what I do. So I'm happy to have a chat on a more deeper, in-depth chat, because like everything, like every tool that you use, it's all about, what you need and what you want and what's important, figuring out what your priorities are for your website. If the point of your website is just to go, hey, come see my YouTube channel, then a static website is perfectly fine. And you can get a static website builder even on the offensiveness of GoDaddy, and it's still rubbish, but you can still use it. And Squarespace has that, and
I mean, when you look at
it's about what's important.
When you look at some of the bigger YouTubers in the productivity space, like Thomas Frank, Ali, I know Ali uses Ghost. I don't know whether he switched from Ghost yet, but Thomas uses WordPress, and Matt Diavella uses Squarespace. So they all 3 of them use completely different platforms, but all of their blogs to an extent are basically empty. It is essentially this is who I am, go to this place. That's all the website is.
And honestly, for a platform like that, Squarespace is fine.
Mm-hmm. And
hashtag not sponsored. If you want to sponsor us, go ahead.
And
even though we're not publishing any more videos yet, but still.
Yeah. Even when it comes to the memberships and the courses and selling things, Marie hosts almost all of her stuff in Notion, but has a static web page to promote the website. And then uses, I think it's Thrivecart, for the actual payment.
Taking money, yes, it is Thrivecart. I love Thrivecart. I have Thrivecart.
Yeah, so it's like static web page. Actual membership over here is in Notion, so it's not even like a paid platform. It's just Notion. Well, I guess Notion could be classed as a paid platform, but
she uses the team plan, and every single person who's invited onto Notion she actually invites them into her Notion space. It is crazy, but her community is hosted on Circle. And I tell you something, I freaking love Circle. Like, yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it that. A season break. I like that. Season break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marie's Notion Mastery community is on Circle. Absolutely. Before I shifted back to Facebook, purely because no one was logging into the Circle community, because I didn't have good onboarding, and my focus was moving into more creation, hence why I'm doing this.
Hello.
I would still be using. I would still actually be using Circle because Circle is it's my favorite. I don't like I do not in any way, shape, or form. Debbie knows exactly what I'm going to start talking about because she comes from the same community. I do not in any way, shape, or form like Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is a buggy mess that I just find Mighty Networks a buggy mess, which breaks so easily. They're working hard, don't get me wrong, but I think they're charging far too much now for a buggy mess. Whereas a Circle is decent cost. It's not trying to do everything. It's not trying to be everything. Whereas Mighty Networks is advertising itself as an all-in-one platform. And we know what we say. Yeah, yes.
Didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, Mighty Networks is saying it's an all-in-one, unless they've changed their messaging rapidly, which I think they really should.
I think a lot of applications should change their messaging, but they won't because that's how marketing works.
No, they have changed their name. They have changed that it used to be. Yeah, it says so much more than a community platform. Bring together your content community, online course memberships, and more all in one place under your brand, available on every platform. They have changed their messaging because, I think
it's quite funny actually. A lot of the older applications, when you go back to them, their messaging has changed, and I think it's because of the other apps in the space. They're like, oh, actually, that app does it slightly better now. Let's change our focus over here. Let's do this over there instead.
I've not heard of Gilded. Oh no, I have. I saw that. It's quite exciting. I like that. Yeah, Gilded is fascinating.
Is that another community one?
It's kind of gaming focused, but it is interesting.
Is that another community?
Yeah. It's it is very gaming focused though. So it may not be quite the same. I think that's where
very similar to Discord.
His name? Yes, it is very similar to Discord. Yeah, Cox3 uses it.
Conrad.
Yes, they do. It's a Discord hybrid. Yeah. Conrad Lin uses it, which makes sense because his branding is all gaming and stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. I don't think it could ever be used for personally. I think Discord could be used as a business. You could use Discord for business.
Oh yeah.
But I think that Gilded is a little bit too gamey for it to be used at the moment. I enjoy Discord I like Discord better than bloody Slack, but let's not even go there. Slack sucks.
Yeah. Slack is like Facebook.
No, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think somehow Facebook is better than Slack. I cannot believe I'm saying that. It's dirty words coming out of my mouth. But Facebook is marginally better than Slack. Margin. It is a thin line. A thin, wafer, microbe thin line. Facebook have done good with their groups. I gotta give them credit. Their groups aren't bad. Combine that with a decent Notion hub, it's not bad. And engagement on Facebook is far easier than it is on an external platform. You can fucking look at me all like that as you like. It's true. Slack is crap.
Yes.
Facebook is a microbe better.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that one.
Fair enough.
I'm not with, and I think the reason I'm not with you on that one is because of the way the group messaging works. Because you can cheat with group messaging and keep your post at the top, and then things get missed. So it's extremely difficult to keep up with a conversation in a Facebook group, unless you're gonna.
Once it reaches a certain size, I think we're now talking about size. When a
I'm in
group
groups.
reaches a
I'm in
certain
Facebook groups that
size,
have like 40 people, but there's 40 active people in the group. I miss so many messages. Like when I was at uni, like the university used Facebook for their main area for the groups. You get like so many. What's that? Slack maybe crap on my. Oh, don't even get that off the screen. Don't show that shit.
yeah. We don't talk about Microsoft Teams. Disgusting.
I don't think Microsoft have really
Vile.
done anything very well, in my opinion. But hey ho, Windows is good.
Oh, talking about the guy who's on Windows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Windows is good, but that's about it. I mean, Microsoft To Do has a ding sound when you tick something off. That is the highlight of the application.
Ding.
Exactly. But yeah, no, with the Facebook groups, I like every day people would ask a question and people would comment, and it would always alternate. So you'd see the same message like 17 times when you logged in. You're like, what? This isn't where the conversation's going. And I know that's a deliberate choice by them, but people are just annoying in those groups. And then, well, I guess it comes down to the users, maybe. But yeah, no.
Honestly, I think it is. You're talking about free Facebook groups. It sounds like Facebook groups of people who've been brought together. Like, honestly, if you have good rules and you have a good structure to it, you can get away with it. Facebook, to a certain extent. Once you reach a certain size, or your focus goes from just keeping in touch with people, and they are wanting to have better discussions and want to be off of Facebook, then that is when platforms like Circle, and I suppose to a certain extent, Mighty Networks, has some value. Personally, I find the reason why I prefer Circle to Mighty Networks is Circle is, although insular, it is not like you're not in a hub on your own. With Circle, you can embed Circle into the comments of you can have it embedded into your website. And I think that is incredibly powerful. And you can just click a button and your whole community pops up in your website. Similar to I have like a chat box and stuff like that, as well as being able to embed the community pages and like comments and descriptions into individual blog posts. I think that is absolutely flipping beautiful.
So I'm curious, because I know you're keen on the automation side of things. I don't pay that much attention to it, but I know Slack integrates with so many things. Does Facebook do the same thing?
I couldn't give a crap. No, Facebook integrations are minimal. However, most people are on Facebook.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the user base is large,
and everybody knows how to use it.
And that's why I think like streaming on YouTube makes more sense than Twitch, because everyone uses it.
Yeah. I can second that very much so.
So,
yeah,
I'm going to take a bio break.
It's just easier. Wow, he's going on a bio break today. Isn't that good? He's being quiet. So yeah, there's Debbie. You're very welcome. Not a problem whatsoever. What do you think of the Holy Grail, the email list, and how do you use email marketing? Bloomin' heck, we're getting into topics today. These are great. Like everything, it depends on what your focus is. Like everything, when it comes to building and growing a business, it depends on why you want to do it. An email list is good. There's nothing wrong with it. And often people either like or don't like emails. I like receiving content through email. I find it enjoyable. I like it. However, it can very easily become tone deaf if you're not careful. It depends on what your focus is, what your priority is, and what you want to do with your email marketing. You can either keep it really simple and just share posts and share content, or you can kind of be a little bit more, it's up to you. you don't need to have a big email list to grow your business. I think people obsess and say you should have an email list. I agree that you should have people like being able to keep in contact via email, and it is a good idea for you to collect people's emails so that you can keep in contact with them. Because often for me, especially these days, as email is, I think we're in this period of time where email marketing is having a little bit of a renaissance on like, it's more about, I'm not ready to buy from you, I'm not ready to work with you, but I want to keep you in my world. When I join someone's email list, I am interested in what they have to say. And especially, I think for content creators, I don't know whether you agree, Danny, like, it is really useful to have an email list, because then people will be able to keep in contact with you outside of YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think
I
was going to say, from a content creator's perspective and just business in general, an email list isn't really going away. Like, email is not disappearing anytime soon, whereas YouTube notifications, Facebook notifications, or anything else in other apps, essentially, so controlling the messaging and the notifications, you don't have full control over that, whereas your email, you do. The one thing I would say with email lists in general is not necessarily how big they are, it's what you do with them. So I'm not talking content creators, I'm talking just everyone. If you have a newsletter, fine, use a newsletter. That's great. But if you put an email out every week, or just a random thing, like this is what's happening in my life type thing, unless people are really invested in what you're doing, what you're interested in, they will skip over it. And as soon as they get into a habit of skipping over it, if there is something important, they've skipped over it.
You've lost. Yeah. Where it's really important to share something of value or don't share anything at all. Like that's the truth of it. Share something valuable, provide value, or don't share anything at all. It is fine. It is not the end of the world to leave your list silent for a while. The world is not going to end. You will probably get unsubscribers, and unsubscribers are not a big deal either. Like, if they unsubscribe, they're not right for you. That's it. Like, they are self-selecting that they don't want to hear anymore. And that is all good. It's with email marketing, it's like, you don't have to deal with people on the phone who's constantly ringing you. You can't opt out of people ringing you and asking for conversations for 3 hours.
Sorry.
Whereas with email, marketing, that wasn't aimed at you. Email marketing, people opt out of the conversation, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think probably the same goes for unsubscribers and
I mean, there's a couple of things to say. I mean, the first thing for me is when there's a notification pushed out, everyone in this world is bombarded with notifications unless they've done something about it, whether that's a message, a video, a blog, a RSS feed, just something. Notifications aren't uncommon. We kind of desensitize ourselves to it. So that's why the clickbait thing exists in marketing. And if you're sending out an email, if you don't send out an email and then suddenly you send out an email, like, people want to go, oh, what do they want to say? There's intrigue because it's uncommon. It's an uncommon pop-up, which is when you don't post something on Instagram suddenly gives you a notification. So-and-so's posted something and it's new because they haven't done anything for 3 weeks or whatever. And the email list is the same. If I see an email in my inbox every week from the same person, I'm like, oh, okay, let's have a quick look. Yeah, okay, fine, move on. If I haven't seen an email from them in a month and then they suddenly appear in my inbox, I'm like, oh, okay, I know them enough, and I'm like, I'm intrigued. What are you talking about? What's going on?
And that's important. That's important. Yeah. So something that I'm really learning myself, you've got to have a good solid onboarding in your email. Like you got to have a good welcome sequence so that people get to know you better, he says, without a decent onboarding sequence still, because I'm still remaking it.
What else are you saying? Because I had another point that I was going to make. You were saying something else. You're talking about email marketing. Well, you said something about creators, and I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. Because I was holding on to the email, the intrigue and email in my head, and then you said something. I was like, oh, that's a good point, but I'm going to say this one before I forget it, and then I forgot that one.
Most won't unsubscribe. Well, while you're trying to remember it, most won't unsubscribe because most forget they subscribe most of the time. And if you're not sending anything, then they are not going to remember you until you send it. Yeah, they only unsub when you spam a lot or when it no longer becomes relevant. Is Facebook a rich place to mine email addresses? Don't that is the wrong perspective to have. That is an old style perspective on email marketing that needs to die a horrific death. You're not mining for people. You don't want to mine for people. Like, it needs to be, as a Nerdy Notioneer has just said, personal. It needs to feel like don't mine email addresses. Don't your prospective clients will find you as part of it. As long as you show up frequently. Just because someone joined your email list does not mean they will buy from you.
So something I want to say when it comes to building an email list, I have no idea how big my email list is now, but I use a lead magnet. I use a lead magnet on my YouTube channel as my email list. Like, get it. No one needs to put their email in, but they can if they want to sign up to my email list. I think it's like 300 and something people now. I haven't sent a single email. But they want to know what's going on. So if
they're there though, that's the important thing. That's the important thing. Everybody obsesses with having this entire system ready and raring to go. No, just put a fucking form on your homepage. Like, literally, hang on.
I mean, for me, with my email list, it's literally a Notion template. It's a free Notion template that I build in a video, and all I do is I link to the page, and then they just put their email in, like just a form that I imagine John's going to show you in a second. They put their email in, and then it throws them to the template. It's really simple, really basic, really easy. It's a free template, but it's just a simple form and an email list. There you go. That's literally what mine looks like, except when they push the keep in touch, they get thrown to my template. But they don't have to put the email in. They could just put their name and then get it.
The biggest difference for me in terms of my business, in terms of growing my email list, was stopping caring about the opt-in.
Mm-hmm.
And just sometimes you don't necessarily have to have an opt-in for it to work. Sometimes all you need is just, hey, do you want to keep in touch? Do you want to keep in touch? Let's keep in touch. If you're not interested in keeping in touch with me, don't go on my list. And if you are, let's do this. Let's chat. Let's talk. It is a conversation.
And I think that's
a conversation.
I was going to say, I think that's the difference between me and you currently, is if people want to have a conversation with me, I'm on YouTube most of the time. So if someone has a comment or a question or something like that, they can find me on YouTube. If they want something further, then they can go to my email, which is also on my YouTube channel. So as soon as they've sent me an email through my YouTube channel, obviously I have their email. I can just add it to the list. But that's because my YouTube channel is where my focus is, whereas yours is clients. So you're more of the website. Okay, we'll go through that way. So it's two different approaches to essentially the same end goal, an email list that you can dive into when need be.
Yeah. Should I start a blog or a newsletter as a student? That depends. My question to you is, why do you want to start a blog, and why do you want to start a newsletter? Are you thinking of having a business? Are you thinking of turning it into a career in the future? If so, both.
I'm actually going to go the other way. So as a student, as a student myself, if I don't know what it's like for other people in business, etc., looking at a student, but from my experience, the only people that would sign up to your blog or yours newsletter is another student following your story. There needs to be a relation between you and the person, whatever that relation happens to be, whether you're teaching them something or they're learning something elsewhere or they're just following your story. There's got to be a reason for them to sign up to your newsletter or blog.
I also agree. I think there needs to be a reason for it, which is why I asked the question.
Yeah. Why?
Like, don't just start it because it's cool.
Hmm.
Because like you've got to have a reason or a purpose, or you need to set the priority of why you want to start a blog, why you want to start a newsletter. As a student, you've got enough to deal with.
Fun first.
You've just got to have it for a reason. I like having a list because I like talking to people. I like keeping in contact with people. I like seeing people. And yes, my hope is some of them will become a client. I've turned down Kim just in case it's me again. And so yeah, I think the in terms of starting a blog or a newsletter, what's your purpose for that? Why do you want to start it? Because if you want to just start something because you can see someone like myself or Danny or another YouTuber, that weird Ali person who we've never heard of before,
but yeah, it's a really good point.
No.
And with the why, I was going to say, as a student, you're learning loads of stuff anyway. So you're already mildly distracted doing whatever the studies are. And even if you're not a student and you're just a person working, you're still doing something in your day. So again, why? Is it because it's fun? Is it something you want to do on the side? I mean, this is kind of like the business entrepreneur. Like, do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to start your own business? Or do you just want to have this personal thing to the side because you want? And I'm going to say this, it's not bad to want to be famous. Like, if you want to be famous and have loads of followers, fine. That's your goal. That's your target. It's not for everyone, but that's fine if that's what you want to do. But you need to understand, okay, if you want to be famous, there's got to be a reason for people to follow you. And it comes back to, why are you doing it? Why do you want to be famous? Because you want to be known, but why? What is it? What is it for? You can be famous for a lot of reasons. Is it for a good reason? A bad reason? Like, why do you want to make the blog? Why do you want to make the videos? Why do you want to do a newsletter? Like, it sounds harsh, but who cares? Like that's what I had to ask myself. Like, who actually cares about what I'm doing? And it comes back to that avatar.
And often, just to play on that, if you care, that still counts.
Yeah.
If you care, that still counts. Because that's important. Like,
and that's
from our perspective, from mine and Danny's perspective, this, I don't know about you, but I don't get clients from this, but I love it. Like, I very rarely pick up clients from these live streams, but I have a ton of fun. I love talking. I love having conversations with interesting people. I love supporting different people. I love hearing about their journey, hear their stories. That is why I live stream.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. I enjoy it. I don't pick up clients very often from here, if ever.
I've had two from the podcast, one from the live stream.
Yeah.
So it comes back to you enjoying it. And if you're making something for someone else, not yourself, you will burn out and you will not enjoy it. And then you will stop and you will disappoint that person that is relying on you. So first and foremost, have fun and enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Even if it is just 10 people in the whole world that do that thing, if you enjoy it, do it.
Yeah. And that's a really important thing. Whenever you want to try and do something, make sure that you want to do it, because if you don't, then you will never, marketing is such a complicated thing. I'm looking through my Notion because I've just recently rebuilt my learning library, and a quote that I have, and I want to grab it because it's so good. And because I've redone my library, I know exactly where it is, which I'm kind of liking. There's me teasing people. It's just like, when I mostly want it as a side project for fun, then yeah, why not? Do what you like. Like, if it's fun, go for it. Like,
let's put it this way.
Like,
for me, in my mind, if something is fun, there's no deadline on it. It means if it's fun, you can start it right now and you can do it for at least like minimum 3 months without getting bored or burn out at all. If you can do that, then it's fun. If you start doing something for a couple of weeks and you're like, do I really want to do this? It's not fun. Like you've just learned that it's not fun. It was just an idea that you thought was good at the time, but it's actually not that fun. Like John and I started this just off the cuff. We spoke in a live stream on my channel. What was it, like 4 months ago? And we're like, hey, let's
I
talk
don't even
about.
remember anymore. It's been so long.
Yeah, well, maybe it's longer than that. Maybe 5 months. But we just started doing it, and the only reason we're taking a break is because other stuff has happened. It's not, oh, this is boring, I don't like doing this anymore. It's just other life stuff has got in the way. So if you can do something consistently and still enjoy it, even though no one else is watching it or reading it, you know it's fun. Look, that was my check.
This is why I enjoy what I do. There's someone whose life you're going to change, whose life is going to be changed in 10 years because you bothered to show up today. I love that quote. You don't have to change lives from day one. Just being willing to, or even if it's your own life that you're changing, like it's, yeah.
So something I want to kind of add on with that as well is kindness doesn't expect a result, doesn't expect something in return. It's just you're doing it because you want to do it. So if you're doing something expecting something in return, then you're not doing it. Like, I wouldn't say you're doing it for the right reasons if you're doing something expecting something else. I started making videos and I wasn't getting any views, but I didn't care because I was learning for myself. I was developing myself. I was doing it because I wanted to do it. And that hasn't changed. I'm still making videos because I enjoy making videos and it helps other people. And I know it helps other people. Now I have an audience. There is a back and forth, but I'm still doing it because I want to do it. I don't make videos because other people want me to make a video. If someone wants me to make a video, I need to enjoy that video. Otherwise, I'm not going to make it.
Use Notion for mini blogs to test whether you want to blog. Absolutely. If you enjoy it, then you can move to a different platform for the next level. If you don't, then you're not out anything. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, always remember, even that Ali person no one seems to know started at the beginning. Exactly. And another quote, which I think I can do this way. There is nothing wrong with just trying.
That's what I do. That's literally what I do. That's literally every single live stream. Let's try this app. I don't know the app. And I run the risk, I don't know whether you class it as a risk, of the developer seeing the video. I mean, I've seen it in the comment section. Like the developers of some of the applications have gone, this is a really nice review. Literally, I opened the app, looked at it for about an hour. And you have people coming in like experts saying, oh, you missed this, you didn't know that, you didn't do this button's wrong. And yeah, but it's fun and I'm learning.
I don't know where the inspiration came from. It was the fact that I was watching you recreate your system. I was just like, yeah, well, I want to fiddle and play now. I want to recreate mine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like all over the place. My system is still in like 7 apps.
Oh God, no! Just stop, please stop. Can't cope with that. No.
I mean, I've been testing out so many apps recently, and I've still got bits all over the place. And you know what? Because I've been testing out the Google, like the Google Keep and stuff. And when I was playing around with the idea of the database, I was like, I wonder, Google Keep, where can I push the boundaries? I've started trying to push the boundaries in Google, which means I've started using Google Tasks and reminders and things. And you can actually put quite a lot of tasks on the page, but they don't actually disappear, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. When you complete them, they stay there. I'm like, go away, just filter away.
Oh. And I still want to see you try and not use an app.
Yeah, but that would mean I wouldn't be able to make any videos.
Okay.
How's that possible?
I don't know. I think you could.
How would I make?
What do you define as an app?
Application software, something that enhances something else. I mean, yeah. What? There seems to be something in the air. I thought I was done with my system for now. I was happy with it. 2 days ago, I decided to redo it.
Yeah. Yeah. Notion Goth is literally, but me and Notion Goth have spent the last 3 days rebuilding our system nearly every day. I have icons now. I like icons.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's because I use so many applications that I get my dopamine hit of seeing something new every day that I just haven't changed my Notion for so long. But it's probably because I see so many things elsewhere that I don't need it to change. So I go back to Notion, I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize this, and start playing around with the formulas and buttons again, because I've just come back from like the Brain app where it looks disgusting, or Natoto where I can make a sheepzilla.
No Toto.
No Toto, no Toto.
No Toto.
But I definitely think there is a because of the way our minds potentially are shifted because of social media with the whole dopamine push notification, like always feeding you, your system kind of has to do the same thing. What's this? I would just like to point out that I had nothing to do with John's news items. Suspicious. Villager impression. But yes, with the whole like social media then pushing things at you, like push notifications, even like videos, you can't go 4 seconds in a video without making a cut or a zoom or something because people's attention's just gone. And I feel like people's systems are the same. And if there's not a change or a different in look or color or some aesthetic or new feature or something, their attention just goes. I know from personal experience. Like, squirrel moment, attention, boom. What's that? And it's like with an app or with a feature.
I think Notion really does provide you with that capacity.
That was literally the next sentence.
Like Notion gives. Well, you've interrupted me for like how long now? So I thought I'd do the same to you for a change.
We're just like telepathically in like connected.
Yeah.
What am I thinking, John? That was a perfect time. Come on.
No. that you're moving to ClickUp.
No, I was thinking of a squirrel floating in space with an orange.
Did you add that parent task done to that formula you were working on? My curiosity has been getting the better of me. Yes, I am planning to add that on. That's going to be in part of one of the templates that I'm going to be doing for the learning library. I actually want to find a way that works for me and keep it that way. As much as I love playing, I want to find the system for me. Sorry, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, disclaimer, not going to work.
You will never have the system for you. And the reason why I say that is because if you're going to stick, I mean, when you have an overarching system, yes, but you'll always be making tweaks, because if you're not making tweaks, then I don't believe you are growing. You're growing. I don't believe that you as a human being are growing, because as you learn more, you'll do more. As you do more, your system will need to adapt and flex and change and shift. Now, obviously, you don't need to be remaking your system every 6 months, unless you're a Notion person who just wants to play with new things all the time.
Or break them.
But like, huh?
Or break them.
Or break them, of course. It's really depending on what you're. So don't worry about.
As long as you're getting stuff done.
It depends on where you are. If you.
I was going to say, as long as you're getting stuff done that's moving you forwards, you have a system that works.
Yeah. As long as the system still serves you, and it should always be serving you. Everybody is looking for this, like, the system. This is my system forever. But
meh.
I mean, there's a point where it is just nonsense, which is here. And I say it's nonsense, friendly and kindly, because that's exactly what I was doing. Well, I know the most important thing is that your system changes with you because we all change over time. So does your blah, 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 want something that works for me right now and stick with it. So the question is, what does that system look like?
I was going to say, what doesn't work right now?
Yeah, and what doesn't work right now? So I'm thinking positively is a negative knob. Like what isn't working for you?
Because if there isn't a friction point, there's no need to change anything.
Oh, don't get me started on friction points again.
No, but I'm just saying.
That was a brilliant Twitter discussion. Thanks for that.
Yeah. But if there isn't one, no need to change.
I'm going to go on. I'm going to go off on one now.
Squirrel.
Because friction points. A car is a system, a number of systems, lots of systems. But for a car to work, there has to be friction.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's not going nowhere. Now, of course, you've got to reduce the friction using the oil, using the other bits and pieces about cars. I know absolutely nothing about cars. I rang a friend of mine who knows loads about cars just to prove my hypothesis that systems need friction to work. I am that level of nerd this week.
Not being funny, but forget the whole car, the system and everything. If the tires don't have friction with the floor, you ain't moving anywhere.
Exactly.
Forget the whole engine and the rest of that rubbish. Just tire, floor, no friction.
And that was what I was about to say next. Yeah, like a tire needs to have friction. If you don't, like, you have to have friction. It is your choice of how much friction and what. And what is what you need. Like for me recently, I always used to have multiple. So I use Save to Notion to save stuff to my Notion. And I used to try and automate that part by just having forms pre-filled in. And now I'm realizing how, although that reduces friction of me filling in information, and I think you've been saying this for a while, Danny, like, shut up.
As soon as you said it, I was like, I know where this is going.
You are not wrong. And by having that friction to adding things into my system, I can now categorize it better, which is a friction point. I could automate the shit out of that, believe me, I have. But it doesn't, but I need that friction to make me go, does it need to go into my anything and everything that I did shamelessly, kindly and lovingly borrow from the Notion Goth, because I love it. And don't you get started on the anything and everything. I know where you're going to go in a minute. Shush.
I was just going to say, didn't we have an argument about this on a podcast potentially or a live stream, and you were just like, no, I'm right.
I say heated discussion.
A heated discussion. Okay. I'm not gonna say I told you so then.
Well, no, because it doesn't matter whether you told me so. And also, for all it's worth, both you and I are not the same as the people. Like, you've got to figure out what works. If your friction point of having to add a little bit of text and a little bit of this and a little bit of that in is high enough for you to be a problem, remove the friction. Like, remove that friction point. And yeah, for a car to work, you have to keep up with the maintenance on a regular basis. Yeah. And so that means having shifts and changes and shifts. See, look at that. I can talk car. Except that was an American term, but it's fine. I can talk
car. Great English there. I talk car. Gone up north and you've suddenly forgotten how to speak and the connection words just disappear.
Yeah, word connectons are just gone. Everything works.
Yeah.
Okay. So why are you changing it?
Because I can.
Apart from because you can. Yeah. So this is a risk. This is genuinely a risk when it comes to Notion. And I think it's a unique risk with apps, with Notion-like apps. Notion, I wouldn't say ClickUp.
I would, because there are elements that, like, what folders, what lists.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah.
What
So
templates.
with apps like Notion and ClickUp and
I think the majority of
Obsidian
applications,
and Roam.
the majority of applications now, because people want more customization, they bring in more features. The more features there are, the more options and customization you get, the more you can change with it. The more the more decisions you have to make, the more unknowing you're going to be. I mean, when you look at marketing, if you have to choose between, I can't remember what the numbers were. I think it was like if you have to choose more than 4 items, the time it
Decision
takes.
fatigue. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a study that you went into a shop and there was tons of pots of jam listed out, and you could just try it. You can buy all of these jams, and nobody sold a fucking thing. Then someone took 4 pots of jam and demonstrated and showed it, and I got them to taste it. They were more likely to buy stuff because it wasn't just like hundreds of decisions. Decision fatigue. That's the nerdy term. Is if you have to make too many decisions, it becomes difficult.
Yeah,
shiny bright syndrome, because I want this and I want that. Just because you want it, like, be clear why you want it. Why do you want it? What is the purpose and your priority of changing it? Like, if you're changing because shiny, then duplicate your system, as what Notion just said. Like, duplicate your system and then keep playing. Because obviously we people who are Notion people and like Notion are people who like to tweak. That is what we do. Because if we were just people who just wanted to get stuff done, we would just use probably
Asana, Todoist, Trello.
Asana, Trello, Todoist. Yeah. So yeah, like, keep the system working and use that as your system, and then play. There is nothing wrong with productivity play.
Yep.
Like, you don't, like, your whole life should be about playing. It like, you know, there's a good, I know a business owner in another group I'm in, like, his whole thing is like play. It's about playing at creation, and he'll definitely sell it to you. Like, you can play at creating new things.
Deliberate play is the term that I've heard.
Yeah, deliberate play. And there's nothing wrong with adapting and changing things and trying new things out. Like, my original starting point of rebuilding some parts of my system was because I was playing. It was me asking a question: would actually adding design elements make me want to use my system? Does that actually matter to me? Because I've always been very much to the point, get it done, blah, 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 blah. But the more visual flair I added to my system, the more I enjoyed being in my system. The more I had more fun, the more it became more fun. And I enjoy having fun when I'm working and turning it into fun. And so by rebuilding my system with a little bit more focus on having a little bit of visual flair, of course it's flipping orange, duh, has provided me with more want to open it up in the morning, more desire to play and have more fun and do more things, and then brought back my creative flair after being stuck in ClickUp, where you do exactly what they tell you and it's boring. Where customization in ClickUp is an icon.
Have you had that conversation with Layla yet?
I think it's this week.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one.
I think,
because I know it's about courses. It's about courses and training and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Stuff.
Technical term.
Yeah. So yeah, Kim, feel free to play. Oh yeah. And then timeline view. Timeline view. Notion Golf, I'm disappointed in you.
I mean, week view, timeline view, both of them just, I mean, obviously Notion doesn't have a week view and timeline view is just poo-poo.
Yeah. We need a weekly calendar view. We really need a weekly calendar view.
We just need a database update. Like, you know, in Minecraft where they have like themed updates, where it's like the cave update, the water update. Notion, you need a database update.
You've been getting back into Minecraft again by any chance?
I haven't played it. I still watch it. I watch a lot of Minecraft.
That makes sense. But yeah, I think you really want to.
I can't watch productivity in my spare time. Burn out much.
Yeah.
I use YouTube as my entertainment space as well as my learning space. So there are some channels on my subscription list that are purely for entertainment, and others are for research and learning.
I was saying, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, she gave us timeline view as a shiny object, and it did bug. Yeah. I'm still slightly worried about the API.
Yes.
I worry. I hope they seem, from the fact that they're taking a long frickin' time with it, that they're going to do it the right way.
Q4 of last year.
I'm just crossing everything. Like
I'm there.
Like I want to cross everything that it's going to be good, and it's not just going to be a shiny object. That is my hope, and it's going to be as good as it potentially could be.
Yeah. I mean,
but I am
with the amount of time they spent on it. If there are bugs and issues, which we know there's going to be a couple, but if there are big bugs and issues with the amount of time they've spent on it, I feel like it's going to be a massive flop because so many people have waited so long for it. If there's a big bug with it, like Cyberpunk, whatever the game was when it came out, everyone's like, it's going to be a great game. And then it came out, it was just like buggy as anything. I don't know literally anything about the game other than it came out, it was really buggy.
Yeah, I honestly think that the API, like the API launch, could potentially make or break Notion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
not necessarily in total, not necessarily in total, but it's certainly going to get rid of the whole like enterprise commercial audience if that's broken. And I would imagine a lot of the business users as well.
Yeah. The only reason why most business users, sorry, go on.
Student users, not so much.
Student users couldn't give a rat's backside, but like business owners do care about being able to connect different apps together because there's so many different options. And at the moment, it looks like the main focus is getting things into Notion and not getting things out of Notion.
At the moment. Sorry.
It wouldn't be a stream if I didn't do this. There we go.
Oh, that was so funny.
No, it wasn't. It was awful. Even for you on the level of jokes, that was just like a whole nother lower level of bad pun.
Oh, that was absolutely awful.
Oh, be quiet.
Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah, so play with your system. Don't be scared of it. Are you being crude?
So bad. Oh dear.
Are you still laughing at yourself?
Oh, I'm laughing at like squirrels in space. Absolutely funny jokes. Oh, I'm having fun. That's what I'm doing, John.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh. Okay. But like I was saying this before stream, right? I know this is another squirrel moment, but the reason I say fun first is, I mean, it's not just what's going on right now in the world, but people need really bad jokes. Okay, they don't need bad jokes, but they need something to laugh at, whether it's them, themselves, or someone else. They need something to laugh at and have fun with. And for me, I laugh at myself, like, come on. I'm laughing at myself and the things that I'm doing, and I'm having fun with whatever it is that I'm doing, which is why I do it. And I feel like in the whole business world and the apps, it can be very serious, and we all know it can be a kind of a serious place, a serious world. And even sometimes when you like, even some of the jokes that I see in the business world, I'm like, that wasn't funny. That was just a really small attempt at a sense of humor. Like, there's very few what I would class as like funny productivity channels. Like, I don't see many of them. I think Captain Sinbad is probably the only one that really sticks out in mind as a funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not the only one that watches.
Ali.
What?
I watched Alice and I was just like, oh my god, I love him.
I've been watching Captain Sinbad for so long, and like the thing is, all of those people are funny, but their main channels are not. And I'm like, I literally, so I tweeted this the other day. Ali plays chess. Thomas Frank plays chess. Matt Diavella plays chess. Joey from Better Ideas plays chess. I want all four of them to play a 4-way chess game, because you can play that on chess.com. Because I know, like, I've seen all of them in not main channel environments, like Thomas Frank on his podcast, or in other live streams, in conversations. I've seen like Joey, like the Better Idea, his personal channel. The editing in that video is so funny, and it's him. It's the personality. I'm like, why can't you just do that in your own video? I just want, like, I want them on live stream to have a joke, to have fun, like to be themselves. And yeah, maybe it's just the world that they're in, the niche they're in.
I think we're both the same on that. That's kind of my priority now, is to bring people in as they are, instead of with all this pretentious nonsense that we are told to put on. Like,
look at my morning routine. I wake up at 12 midday. That's my morning routine. And then I'm sure someone else's is like, I wake up at 5 in the morning so I can go to the gym, so I don't get woken up by my kids, and I can actually get some stuff done.
And I think that's something for me that I'm really wanting to explore, is real people, real productivity. Not this is what the professionals say that I should do. This is what makes me productive. I just have to follow the rules of everybody else and I will get stuff done.
I mean, talking philosophy is great fun, but talking about so this reminds me of like English. I don't know whether any of you have similar experience, but Of Mice and Men was a novel I had to do like in English for GCSE. Red. What does red mean? The color red. No, it means danger. No, it means the color red. Like, what?
I think the Notion Goth and I were actually talking about this during our co-working session the other day.
Okay.
Literally this.
I was just like, what? Doesn't make sense. And I think when it comes to some of the videos, like, they make a video on someone's words, and someone's words from a book means this, which can apply to this and that. And you're like, there are so many freaking links going all over the place that they've tried to rationalize. You're like, okay, if you say so. I don't get it, but if you say so. And it looks pretty. Let's just be real. Like, the videos look pretty. They look cool. They look nice. There's really nice editing, and it's great entertainment. But it's not fun. It's like watching a movie or a film, which is where a lot of YouTubers, like bigger YouTubers, go. And I feel like in our space, I'm going to say our space because it's the productivity space, a lot of those videos are just really well produced. There's not the raw YouTube space. When you go into the science space and you look at like how stuff's made, Smarter for Everyday, Veritasium, you look at those videos and they are like raw. This is me trying to fix my machine that's broken this many times or whatever. Whereas the productivity space just seems like filmed. What's this? The author said the sky was blue. Why did he say this? Yeah, exactly. He was obtuse. Yeah. Oh.
I hear that in your voice as well. No, the sky was friggin' blue.
Yeah. Yep. The funny thing is, right, when I passed my I can't even remember, was it lit or was it the language or lit? I can't remember, language or literature, whatever the assessment was. I found an article that actually went through the author of Mice and Men, and they asked the question, like they asked the author the same questions they did in the GCSE paper, and he got them all wrong. And he's the one that wrote the friggin' novel, and he got them wrong. Because I remember finding this out in year 11, right? Because someone had found it on the Google, and I was just like, wait. So I revised all this stuff about red being dangerous and a symbol of serious and all this rubbish tut, and the author would literally just, nah, I picked red because I'm not even joking. This is what I told, and it sticks to me in a day because I was like, what? He picked red because it was the color his partner was wearing in the living room the time he wrote the paragraph. She was wearing a red t-shirt, so he decided to make her wear a red dress. Had nothing to do with danger or the rest of the crap that I got told. It was his partner was wearing a red t-shirt in the lounge when he wrote that part of the novel. It's like, okay. And he's like, okay, you're picking...
But that's what human beings do. We try to make connections between something to rationalize why we're doing things.
Yeah.
That is the human brain. It creates stories just to help us rationalize it instead of just realizing I just do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that needs to be explored more, of not having a reason for doing something outside of I want to.
I think it brings the answer away from the why. Like the whole her t-shirt was friggin' red. Yeah, exactly. That's the answer. You put that in your GCSE, you get 0 marks and you fail, even though it's the right answer. But the answers, I guess, in the productivity space, people are looking for answers. This is how you do ABC. This is the best way to do. This is the ultimate. This is whatever. No, I do it because I do. Because I do. Why do I wear colourful t-shirts? Because I like it and I do. Do I look fashionable? No. Do I stick out? Yes. Do I care? No. Like, why?
Yeah,
why?
and it goes back to that video I did a couple of weeks ago about you already have a freaking system. Like, you, as a human being, already have created a system that you're working with. You do not need to rebuild it. If your system's not working, fine. Tweak it. Your subconscious builds a system. It is already, you have multitudes of systems in your brain that, provided that they are, it's actually called schemas in psychology. It is a schema. And it can either be a good
SCHEMA. Schema.
Yeah.
That's how I remember how to spell it, because I'm bad at spelling. Schema.
Sorry. That was it. That was a squirrel moment. That's just like, what the fuck? I lost you then. There's a problem when I lose you.
I'm not even lying. Like, I've just got a squirrel chasing an orange in my head. I'm like, the whole stream I've just had this squirrel going slow motion at the orange.
But yeah, we all have schemas in our head, whether they are positive or negative. It doesn't matter. Like, we have them, we build them in our heads as we grow, and as long as they're not hurting you or someone else, then they're fine. If they are not in a way that works for you, then change them. This goes back to the previous discussions we've had over the recent streams with different people. Everybody uses projects because we're told to use projects, and then you've got the Notion Goth going, nah, I hate projects. I don't want to use projects. That's not what I want. That doesn't make sense to me. And although it's a name change, and that is...
I think you're reading the same comment I just read from Debbie. Yeah.
Squirrel chasing an orange was in my head just before Danny said it. Welcome to these streams.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to work away on making that. Just
$5.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm kind of deciding whether to do that.
No,
It'd be
I'm
kinda
going to
funny.
make a video on me trying to make it.
Oh, God. Your poor computer.
I could just see it now. Like the first 10 seconds of the video. Fuck, shit, still doesn't work. God, it still doesn't work. Just getting so annoyed.
I suppose you could get an icon,
No, that's
a
boring.
squirrel
No,
icon.
that's boring. I want the animation.
Yes, but then you could animate the icon.
True.
I love how we're now figuring out how to do it.
Carry on with what you were saying. You're the boring person. You do the whole like the serious stuff. I've got this in my hand. I couldn't. Now I'm a fidget. I've been doing this like the whole time. It's just underneath the camera so no one can see.
Yeah, like we all have a system in our head that is built already. And it adapts and changes over time as you meet other people, are inspired. And that's the thing. What?
Blue squirrel.
Orange.
No, because it's chasing an orange. Debbie's just said blue squirrel, so I was thinking, okay, a blue squirrel chasing an orange in space with a white space helmet.
I like the space helmet.
It's got to have a space
arms
helmet.
like that.
Yeah, it's got to have a space helmet, just because.
We have our brains, seriously.
It's, you know what, John? It's a bit out there. Get it out there.
No.
What was that from Kim?
Stop.
Just because you think you wear colourful t-shirts because you like them doesn't mean there isn't a deeper psychological reason. You don't know. Oh, very true. Very true. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say to that.
Well, that's the thing. Our brains are so complex. Like, scientists don't bloody understand them.
No. They're squishy.
Squishy.
Can you explain a brain, please? It's squishy and it has electrical stuff in it.
Yeah.
So it's like gum on a wire. You know what we should do?
We were having such intellectual and actually quite interesting in-depth comments until you went. It's like gum on a wire.
Word association. I used to play that when I was at like Beaver's Cub Scouts. It was a game we always used to play. Word association. I was always the winner of that game because people could never keep up with the things that I came up with.
Why am I not surprised at that? Why does that not even slightly surprise me?
Like we used to go around the circle and like you'd say something and then you had to say something within 5 seconds of like something associated but completely different that hadn't been said. We'd go around, it'd always come to me, I'd say something and the person next to me would be like, oh, how, what, where did that come from? Oh, and obviously you can see now where. Yeah. What were you saying?
I remember now. I don't think it was very important.
It's not as important as gum on a wire or blue squirrels chasing oranges in space.
What? So what has been your favourite episode that we've recorded?
That's a good question. Are you talking live stream or podcast?
Both.
I guess what's your favorite topic? I guess we've spoken about potentially, because if we go like live stream or podcast, we cover like 3 or 4 topics every stream or podcast.
No, but which has been your favorite episode to record of the podcast, and which is?
Oh, you were asking me. I thought you were asking the audience.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, the audience too. Not that I don't care. Like, tell us what were your favorite episode has been. But for you, what's been yours?
I don't know. I don't really have like a favorite. There's not one that really sticks out in mind that's like, yeah, that was really good. It's just all of them for different moments. I guess the first one.
Moments.
I was going to say the first one of the podcast and just PPs. Like, what? It's all in the name, John. Projects don't work.
I was talking about the project conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think when it comes to moments, PPs was certainly the first one that springs out in mind. PPs and nunnas. Yeah, and I think on the live stream is probably backups, but that's probably because it's recency bias. Probably because of recency bias, but yeah. Yeah, what about you? And obviously the Marmite. I loved you eating Marmite, but that goes without saying.
I think my favorite. I think the all-in-one app was my favorite episode
to talk about. Yeah,
that one I enjoyed. I enjoyed talking about that conversation. I enjoyed that episode as well. It was a really in-depth conversation. Also, the statuses one was good because that was the first time where you and I had a really opposing view.
Yeah,
it was a really opposite view, and that was a fascinating conversation which we could easily go back to over and over again.
Well, I think that's one of those things where both of us understand the other person's perspective. It just doesn't work for our use cases, and I think that's the difference. I mean, I don't want to go into politics and the rest of it. I think that's the difference in some of the conversations that we have is that both of us understand the other side of the story.
Yeah,
it's not we're right, you're wrong. It's this works for me, that works for you. I prefer this, and then we talk about it.
Yeah, that was my favorite. In terms of the live, I really enjoyed the one with Ocean Goth because that was just like a whole fucking awesome time. That's probably recency bias as well. Even though that one was fun.
Even though you left twice.
The conversation was great. I was enjoying listening to the conversation. I didn't need the bathroom and another cup of tea.
You were just like, I'm a go. Actually, that's a good point. What's going to happen about our 12-hour?
The fact that no one knew about that yet.
What do you mean no one knew about it? We spoke about it multiple times.
Not on stream, you haven't?
Yeah.
Did everybody else know about the 12-hour that we were planning to do that we haven't done yet?
I'm sure they did, because I'm pretty sure it was like December time. I mean, I spoke about 24-hour stream, and people were like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And I'm pretty sure we spoke about the 12-hour on stream, because we were talking about streaming, and we were debating between YouTube and Twitch like backwards and forwards.
Oh yeah, we were, weren't we? Yeah.
We were talking about it going backwards and forwards, and I was like, well, I could be on Twitch and stream longer. And you were like, yeah, you could stream like 6, 12, even 24 hours. I was like, really? 24 hours? And then you were saying, yeah, but we'll probably go like maybe 12 to start with. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. What do you guys think? And then they were like, yeah, that sounds good. Do you not remember that conversation?
No.
Nerdy Nation is, where's my 12 hours? Yes, you did.
Yeah, on about the last 4 streams. Honestly, I want to make some time in it. I think we could figure something out. I think we could figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we spoke 4 hours with the Notion Goth, so just get her on 3 times and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we've.
I love the fact that Danny has voice. Yeah.
There weren't really voices. Okay, that is how I go through conversations in my head. Okay, me talking to myself.
So yeah, Notion Goth's favorite one is the Nerdy Notioneer. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one too. That was another one.
It was great.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy that one too
as well.
It was amazing to have a lovely conversation about it. Yeah, yeah. Where's my 12 hours? We'll figure it out. We'll have a chat after stream and see what we can do.
Yeah.
It may not be what was originally going to be this month. May not be able to be this month.
Not with the workload. Well, I can't speak for you, but I would imagine not with the workload.
Yeah, not with the workload right now. But yeah, I think that maybe that could be the reunion.
Yeah, the coming back stream.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Hi, everyone. We haven't spoken in about a year, so we're going to do 12 hours.
Do you really think it's going to be a year?
No, I'm in my head. I'm thinking like a month, maybe 2.
I think that's about the same. Because in a month's time, it'll be just like, yeah, no, we're back. Yeah, we're good. Kim, I enjoyed both the Nerdy Notioneer and the Notion Goth. So basically, nobody enjoyed us. So there we go.
I'll just leave then, shall I? I'll just click the leave button. Leave studio. I'm just.
Yeah, no, we're not wanted. You know, we're not needed anymore. I did not know how that was going to go, and it did. It was beautiful.
I saw you looking. I'm like, he's going to take us both off screen. Yep.
No, it was great. And I really enjoyed the guests. I really do enjoy the guest streams because then we really do get to see a different perspective from different people and like different views and different ways of working. And I really do enjoy it. I know, if I'm not mistaken, Kim's coming on stream, isn't she?
Yes, she's coming on my stream. I want to say next week.
Well, Kim, you don't have to come on his.
No, it's the week after. It's the week after. It is the 20th. Yeah, go on then, John. Yeah, go. Come on, both. You could come on both. Don't see why not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be good to, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah. Obviously, expect more serious conversations with John though.
Well, expect me to actually let you talk.
You've been talking loads this stream.
I know, only because it's our last one for a while.
Nah.
Yeah.
You always nutter in with your zooming in and you zooming out.
Danny doesn't know, and he's got people coming into streams because he doesn't know what app he puts the appointments in.
Can you see that?
It's Google Calendar.
All of those are people coming on stream. I cannot remember who goes where. That's why it's there. No. All the people go into one place. It's just the tasks and the projects and everything else that's everywhere else. But yeah. Was it really that funny?
Just imagining you going, I have someone coming on this week. I just don't know who, because where's me app? Where's me apps?
It's a quick check of the phone. Gotta love a Google Calendar. Oh,
yeah. Gotta love a Google Calendar. Yes.
For events now, yes.
When Notion sorts itself out, Google Calendar API, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try with Danny first and see how that goes. But I'd love to talk to you as well. I'm a much better host. I love how he's not denying it either. It's great.
I'm not denying it because it's perspective. It's all subjective as to whether who is a better host or not.
Subjective perspective.
Yeah, I meant to say subjective and said perspectives and then said subjective afterwards to correct myself. And I didn't even hope that no one noticed because I knew everyone would notice. But I figured, hey, maybe he won't say anything. But no, he's a dick, so he's going to say something.
I just love that. The beautiful spiel. But no, he's a dick.
Yep. That's how it works. And some people think I'm insulting. Oh dear. And so this is actually a really good point though. When it comes to bringing guests onto stream, getting the feel of the room, like the understanding of the room, is certainly a skill. Certainly a skill. And like John and I have been like speaking on and off, on stream, on camera, like wherever for so long. I think we understand one another, like where the line is most of the time. When you bring someone else on stream, are you going to say something?
Most of the time.
That's why I said most of the time, because you got to push boundaries to see how far you can go, John. Like, take risks.
Don't use the quote I used earlier against me. Don't you do that.
I'm going to do that. But when you bring guests...
Of course you're going to do that.
Yeah, of course I am. But when you bring guests on, it's like, okay, let's get a feel for the room. And obviously when they're new on stream, you can't just suddenly go like 100%. It's like, okay, let's fill out the room, essentially. So if English was my first language, I think Danny and me would have a problem. Really? If it was your first language, because we both wouldn't let the other talk. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting because, yeah, obviously, Kim, obviously you followed my stream, so you know that my family we chop each other's sentences up. So it'd be interesting for anyone else to actually listen into that conversation.
Say my English in my head is 10 times. My English in my mind is 10 times better than my. I love it. We're talking about being able to speak English, and that's me screwing up a really simple sentence.
Yeah, it's who was it? I think it was Gotham. Levi Rosman, Gotham Chess. He was saying on stream. He says it a few times, and it's just like, sorry, my English is really bad. Insert perfect sentence, and then there's people from like America trying to write English, and they're like, "What are you talking about? That's not a word." It's just like, your English is perfect. Don't say your English is bad. And it's the same in my comment section. People say sorry for my English. I'm like, there was nothing wrong with your English at all. In fact, that's probably written better than people where English is their first language and only language.
And often it's that's the thing. Like,
I think people learning
why people don't come on streams, and people don't come on streams because they feel that there's always a reason why they shouldn't stream. There's always my system's not ready yet. Things aren't ready yet. I'm not good at English. I'm not good at speaking. I'm not good at this. I've not got nothing to share. If you have been alive, you have something to share. Like,
maybe not baby,
your experience.
I don't think a baby would do much. I mean, maybe with some help.
If you have been living long enough to have a conversation, what?
We need to get a squirrel on stream. I have no idea how. Maybe I just go outside with my camera and get on live and be like, I'm going to chase a squirrel. I'm going to chase a squirrel, throw an orange at it and see if it tries to chase it.
I think that might be classed as animal abuse. Do you want to come on the Notion Nerds podcast? Do you want to talk about Notion?
Oh, I can see it now. I can see it just from third person, just me with a camera throwing oranges at this squirrel. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Excuses. My website isn't launched yet. Exactly. There is always a reason why you can't do something, but the chances are when you actually get on stream, and hopefully the Notion Golf and the Nerdy Notion here both agree, when you're actually on stream, it ain't half that bad. And half the time, well, no, every single time,
half that bad.
it ain't half that bad. It ain't bad. It's not as hard as you think. Once you get a good conversation going, it's very easy. I think that's the big fear, because of course we do longer streams, like 2 hours. Oh, I'd never be able to talk for 2 hours, 4 hours later. Oh, we should probably stop now.
That's something.
I think that's something that the Notion Golf said. Oh, I don't think we'll be able to talk about it for 2 hours. 4 hours later.
I went the exact same
Because
way,
when
like
you get
SpongeBob.
yeah, like stop fearing, and that's why I force people on. That's why I push people to come on stream with little room to fear it, because the moment you give people space, their brain will just self-sabotage almost instantly. Because, oh, well, I don't know what to say. Like, my Notion space isn't clean enough. My Notion space isn't this. It's nowhere near as advanced as Danny's or Jonathan's. It's nowhere this. It's nowhere that. It's not this. It's not that. It's not this. It's not that. I have nothing to say. I don't know what to talk about. Like, people won't like it. Like, I don't have a really nice background. I don't have this. Like, my camera's really rubbish. My this is really rubbish. My that's really rubbish. And there's always a reason to not do something until you're there. And then when you're put in that environment where you're like, come on. Of course, anyone who I invite on stream can just say no. But the chances are they're not going to, because they do have something they want to share. Because it's interesting, and having multiple perspectives, especially from people who don't talk. I mean, I am a theatre kid. I've always been a theatre kid. I am a performer naturally. That's who I am. Danny talks a lot. He likes hearing his own voice.
I ain't denying it.
He does say that. He has. That's not me being mean. He has genuinely said that multiple times. Like, yeah, exactly. There we go. Thank you. And so for us, it's easy. For us, it's easier. Well, I say
it's now.
It is now, because we literally just went, oh, well, why not?
I think so.
But
I was going to say that the difference with me, I think everyone listening to the stream knows like my background when it comes to the first video. Bad. It was bad. Like, my hands were shaking, couldn't talk, I just couldn't do a thing. Now, I mean, what is it? 2 years? No, it's not quite 2 years later, because it would be March when I made my first video. Like, March of this year will be 2 years after making my first video. My first video, I was bumbly, stubbly, couldn't hold my phone to even just record my voice. Yeah, stubbly. I couldn't hold my
stubbly.
Yeah, stumbly.
No, you said stubbly.
Oh, did I? Maybe I'm missing words, mixing words up. But like, I couldn't hold my phone. I couldn't talk. It just couldn't do it. And I pushed myself. It is something I learned to do. Is I pushed myself to get over that barrier, to get over that challenge, and move forward. And now I am where I am. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure. But if I hadn't have pushed myself, this podcast wouldn't be a thing. Yep.
Exactly. It's like, oh, my space is. I mean, yeah, seriously, mess. That was not a mess. It was the cleanest thing I've ever seen. I was like, wow, this is messy.
yeah. Actually, you haven't seen my my dashboard recently in Notion, because obviously I haven't been doing much when it comes to the Notion organizing and stuff. I think my table has 126 tasks in it.
That's painful. Mine looks nice.
The thing is, I've done a lot of them. It's just I haven't ticked them off because I haven't been in there.
Mine looks nice.
Of course it does. Are you going to show us your new space? Or because obviously you're not going to be on stream for however long it is.
Probably change by
Exactly.
Why not?
I don't like it.
I haven't done a stream. I haven't I don't care. I'm not interested in whether you like it or not. So I have my areas / dashboard. Not all of them are built, but I'll show you around the messy parts too. But I'll show you the really pretty parts first. So I now have
Of course.
my tasks. And yes, absolute full disclosure, because it sucks when you don't credit people. I have got rid of my headings and I've replaced them with the beautiful called out blocks. Thank you, the Notion Goth. It looks so nice. It spreads out nicer. It feels like a section. Genuinely, it just looks visually more appealing. And I just like it.
For the moment.
No, I think I'm going to like it for a while. For quite a while. And then on the right-hand side, I have my A&E, which is basically what my brain dump was, but I much prefer the term A&E because it makes people go, well, what are you talking about hospital? No, I'm talking about anything and everything, because it gives me that freedom to place anything that I'm coming up with inside of here. And it's just so nice. This also contains like lessons that I'm studying, courses that I'm studying. Blah, blah, blah. Then I have my daily journal thing, which I've just started playing with because I haven't done that before. I want to start journaling a little bit more.
Interesting. I've also started it, sort of.
Have you? That is fascinating.
Sort of.
Yeah, I wanted to start daily journaling. Was that for the same inspiration? What got you doing that? That's intriguing because you've been anti-journaling forever. I mean, so have I. What was your shift?
It wasn't really a shift. It was more like in Obsidian, I was taking notes in my dashboard and then I was just moving them different places. And I was like, you know what? If I just make a daily page and just put it in there, same thing. It's just now I have a date associated to when I captured it.
Yeah, I mean, I think what started pulling me towards the daily journaling is one, I want to be able to store more information and just like be more like see more things and talk about more things. But yeah, anyway, then I have my meeting notes, which is I still have my meetings in here, but I have now imported my Google Calendar. I have now imported my Google Calendar in via an Indify widget, and I just love how beautiful it looks. It has all of the meetings that I have tomorrow and the whole week. I have a whole meeting dashboard for that, and I'll go there in a minute. Then I have my kind of active projects. That is not that is not an atomic symbol. That is supposed to be people, but it looks like an atomic symbol.
Okay, no, I can't see it. 3 people. Just.
It's 3 people, but no one can't see it. I need to freaking change it. It's not fair. Anyway, so from there, I have my learning library, which I think I'm really quite proud of. I'm actually updating this again because I'm going to add something else in from yesterday.
Are there white lines in the headings? Are they words?
There's a little bit of text. Yeah, so learn, this is connect, this is library, this is process, and this is quotes. So there's little bits of text in the middle. That is...
Right.
I can't remember her name right now. I saw that from an inspiration from someone else, and I can't remember their name, but I know that it is someone who is friends with... her name escapes
Francis?
me. I know her real name, but I don't want to use her real name.
Francis?
Francis, yeah. The Notion bar. There it is. And so my favorite one right now is my kind of course library and course dashboard, which is something that is now available. And this just looks so nice. It just looks so nice. And this was what I was creating until 2 a.m. But I couldn't see the screen anymore. And so I have my high priority courses on the right hand side, and I have my revisit later on it's actually the other way around, but it's fine. I know my left and right. What you're talking about. Then we have courses that are not started, courses that are in progress, and courses that are complete, along with the price of all of those courses and how much they cost me. I have an addiction. Do not judge me. Then I have my topic library.
We are judging you. We are judging.
No, you are judging me. You're judging.
Everyone is judging.
You are
Everyone. Everyone is judging you.
So to answer the question that was there, because I can't see any of these questions, so you should be looking for those questions and asking them for me.
I can't bring them up in your talking.
How do you get those headings? I love the words behind the words. That is inline maths. And it looks like that. And it wasn't me. I did not create this. I just used this from a template. And what I'll do is I'll send the link to Danny so you can edit in the description on who it is. I don't have that reference here because I've been cleaning a load of things out. So that is someone who is amazing, and I will link them. I will share it on Twitter when I share the post, and I'll show you who it was from. But yeah. Then I have my lovely topic library. Then I have like key lessons that I want to reference again. So these are key takeaways that are ticked, and it's edited is within the past month, or edited is today. So these are like key takeaways from lessons that I've taken, which are notes that I've pulled out because I want to remember them. So right now I'm working on mastering ConvertKit because I love ConvertKit and I want to dive really deep into it. And so these are the key things that I've taken away from a course that I'm working on. At the moment, I'm just working on one course. I know, shock horror. I'm working on one course. It's wonderful.
I know the notion is no judgments. Well, that means you can't be judging whether it's good either. You're just looking at it.
Be quiet, you. And so let's jump into one of the courses that I'm looking at now because I really like it and I'm really happy with it. So we have at the top, these are the notes. This is where I'm processing my...
Is this a template in your database?
Of course. This is a database template. I'll probably go from the top thinking about it. It's been so long since I've shared what I'm doing.
Self-referenced, I assume.
So
self-referenced, I assume.
Absolutely. So at the top, we've got the purchase date, the completion date, the course link, how much it cost, the email, and then for me, the priority level, what the status is, the additional links, so to go to the Facebook community, etc., etc. and then we open this, and we all cry. So we have a progress bar. This is Red's progress bar.
Unlimited
because
properties? Let's test that. Unlimited properties? Let's test that.
So I have the progress bar. This is Red's. This isn't mine because I was doing this at 2 a.m. Then we have the if I have a membership which is connected inside of here, it comes in here and it shows what the status of the membership is. This is an auto ticking archive, so I can automatically tick and archive my stuff, which is just where if a course is paused, and if I've completed the course, or the status of the membership is cancelled, it's automatically archived, because if I don't have access to the membership anymore, I don't have access to the course, so there's no point in seeing it. Then obviously we have a relational, which links to my membership library, which is all the memberships that I'm part of, because often with one thing that I found difficult with my old system is like I had memberships and courses under memberships. And so I want to be able to keep track of both and then be able to look at a membership page and see all the lessons and things all together. Then additional links that you've seen. Then we have a link to the topic library, which has some nerdy stuff in there, which I'm really enjoying. Then I have all of the lessons as part of the course, which is literally a link to my anything and everything database, because I keep it in there now. And then I'm kind of experimenting with... Sorry,
Did you just change the name of the database to anything and everything?
Yes, I did, yeah. Yeah. And then I have my why, so I'm exploring identities instead of like goals, whatever it's called. I'm exploring like why I want to do things, because it's really important when you buy courses, especially if you're an addict, to have a reason why you're doing them. So I want to be seen as an expert ConvertKit user. And so that's an identity that I want to have.
YMCA.
Then it's what?
YMCA.
What?
Well,
oh dear, it's not even funny. It's just bad. Then I have the amount of lessons that are completed, which literally is a roll up of the done checkbox on my A&E, which is so if it's checked, it counts that. And then how many lessons there are in total, which counts that. This links up to the progress bar, which is not mine. It is completely
God, that looks long.
red.
What's going on in there?
It's not mine. I literally did just copy this out. I'm going to be... It's a full if or statement. It was Reds. Yeah, I'm going to be changing it eventually, but right now I wanted to have it there, so it was done, so I could just really figure everything out, and then I'll go in and create one that fits more how I like to
What
work.
emoji is that? Go into the chat.
Where? Into the chat?
What emoji?
What is that?
Oh, it's a tongue.
It's a tongue. I couldn't see what that was.
No, neither did I. I was like, is that devil?
And so that's that. So then I have my lesson notes, key takeaways. So both of these are the same database. The only difference is that the key takeaway is tagged with a key takeaway, which causes a tick box. So I start with the lesson note, which is the detail. A key takeaway is kind of like an evergreen note, like my way of thinking of an evergreen note. I'm playing with it. Things that I want to always remember, so I don't have to go into every single individual lesson and individual note to figure it out. Then I have all of these lessons. I have it filtered, so I don't see lessons I've completed because I don't need to, because I've completed them, obviously. And then whether done is ticked, and then I can come back in and I normally create a key takeaway so that I have that there. Then underneath here, it's like the additional, so it's related. One side is memberships. I haven't edited the emoji because I was inside and I couldn't edit it, and I'm crying because it looks horrible and I don't like it. And then we have like whether it's related to a membership, so I can go and access the membership, and also why I want to do it, because I want to be seen as an expert communicator user. So that's that. It's fun.
I know the nation here was saying
Any
she
questions?
was just being a juvenile and sticking my tongue out at you. So she was sticking her tongue out at you, John.
No, I think that was at you, because it says at Danny. So it's at you.
It might have been you. She just mentioned me because you were in your own system.
Progress bar is the only thing I could not figure out how to do on my own in Notion. There are so many ways of doing progress bars.
Yeah.
There's just like hundreds of ways of doing progress bars. It's choosing which one works. And I've also seen Red's recently released one which is like 2 progress bars. Stacking progress bars, which is kind of cool. Not sure how I would ever use it, but it looks cool.
I mean, I did a stream on Twitch a while ago, and I think another Nation and Nation Goth were there, and we were playing around progress bars and doing different emojis and themes and different ways of doing things. You could show just the plus side or just the negative side, or the plus and negative, and then change whether you see this or that, and maybe you want to see a slider and where you want to see it. And yeah, there's loads of different ways to do it.
Oh yeah, it's about not knowing how to do it. It's how you want to do it.
There's 2 numbers. If you've got completed and your progress, then you can literally make what you want. They just got to be in the same page.
Yeah. And so this is a lesson template inside of my A&E. Just to say, I never ever really pull this in because I just pull it in when I need to. I don't have too many templates. And here is the beautiful and long, very like made much huger. That's a word. Originally it was so much more simple, but I like this. So I have the ability to see what course, the course progress. So this is a roll up of my related course. We've got related course. The topic, if I want to attach it directly to a topic so I can refer to it later easily, I can. The reason why I have the topic separate rather than just doing a roll up from the course is because I can't freaking change it. And because I want to be able to have either one or the other, and I want to be able to click in and access the darn thing. No, anyway. Then I have it related to any of my offers. So that's something that I connect with my products that I'm selling and offers that I have. Then I have related project. I have a key takeaway. So it's kind of a sub note. And then I connect the 2 together. So if it's one of these, for example, which I don't have on here, I'll show in a minute. So if that ends up being a key takeaway, then literally this will tick. So if it's not empty, if the key takeaway is not empty, it's true. Otherwise, it's false. I don't necessarily need this. I just like it there, so I have the ability to see the ticks and all that. It's just easier to see.
You were going to say and the boxes.
How many I have. And the boxes. I know the boxes.
You were say and the boxes.
And so I have a created and edited, which I never show. Most of the time it looks like this. And even that's too many because I don't really need that many. So I actually probably would just...
I was going to say, you're going to now go and
get rid of most of these. But most of these properties are always hidden because if I ever add something in, like for the topic, for example, I don't need to have that in because when I clip stuff, I'm automatically adding the topic in my save to Notion. And then book is literally linking to my Readwise library. I only really sync books because I read, unlike some people. And then the key takeaways link there, the content calendar, which I'm working on at the moment as well. And then a link to the actual lesson if I want to link directly to the lesson. Otherwise, I don't bother.
And then got notes. The Notion Goth has just put, because you don't nerd out about, nerd out about the auto tick box for a key takeaway.
I did a little bit. Half the time it was just like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I love this. Oh, I figured this out. And it's just like, yay. When you know you've got something that you really like, you just smack, bam. So you can see here, like, this is one of the key takeaway things. So you can see it was a key takeaway relating to this, which is the naming your tags and custom fields lesson. I'll scroll down quickly so that you don't see too much of that information. And then I link to it. So whenever I have an idea that I like, that I want to save. So this is a key idea. I can literally just either, one of two things I do. I either just drag it straight in, or I hold down Alt and then drag it in. I'm not going to because I don't want to add that. Oh, screw it, I will. And then that pre-adds the filter of key takeaway, pre-assigns it to the course, which of course is a self-editing filter in the template. And then it will appear on the home of that course.
Nice.
And as you can see, the course progress is pulled in because that's the roll up of the related courses progress bar. So I can see how far I am through the course as I'm going through the lessons, and then each lesson gets on and it's on and it keeps going, and that's beautiful. And I love it.
I take it the lessons are from the course that you've got. So you look at the course, you go, okay, there are this many lessons. I'm going to make this many pages in my Notion space.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how do you decide when you're going to learn something from a course or a lesson or something?
How do I decide? I normally add most of them in.
But I mean, do you I'm going to do this lesson of this course today, or is it just, I want to learn something, let's have a look?
It varies. Often it is, I'm going to learn something. It depends on whether I just want to learn something for the sake of learning something, because that is one of my strengths, is just to learn things. If I want to learn something, I'll go into my learning library and go, what do I fancy learning today? If there is a purpose to what I need to learn, for example, I purchased the ConvertKit course yesterday for the sole reason I'm working in ConvertKit much more with my clients. So I'm like, right, I need to look into this course. It's a fantastic course, by the way. Like, I need to look into this course to increase my knowledge beyond like what I already understand. And so I will, whenever I'm like, right, okay, let's do some more about the ConvertKit course, I'll go into that and then start learning the lessons. I'm experimenting with seeing what I want to do when I just add all the lessons in. So for the ConvertKit course, I added every single lesson. I just literally created I copied and pasted the module of the lesson library and then pasted it into Notion and then dragged it into the A&E under the lesson library tag. I'm exploring that in the moment. I haven't decided whether I like that or not, because my lesson, like the homepage on my Notion was just like a
bit like my task right now.
Yes, it was like, oh, he's got a lot of lessons today.
Good job, I'm going to be testing it. It's a good job. I'm going to be testing it.
And I just go between and see which I like and which I don't.
Another Notion here. Yes, remember that formulas read roll-ups weirdly. Yeah, they do sometimes. Yeah. So I'm curious then. So you're using Notion for everything now? Like task, projects, learning? Or are you still or are you still elsewhere with things?
No. I'm back in Notion full time. I explored ClickUp. It was interesting. It has its uses, but it doesn't work for me. I'm just enjoying being back in Notion. Maybe in the future, when I start doing more intense writing, I may explore Obsidian and Rome, perhaps, because I know that I could very easily replicate the way I write into Rome and Obsidian, because when I first start writing something, I just have bullets and then I expand those bullets. In fact, I can actually show that because I have a template for that. if people want to see it, I could keep talking for
Yeah,
ages.
go
But
for it.
yeah.
I mean, it's the last one.
I will go grab it.
It's the last one for a while, isn't it? So
That's true. That is true. So I need to. I haven't pulled things together yet. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to be talking with Brian Jenks
find it manually.
next Saturday about Obsidian and going further into detail with Obsidian. But task management, project management is very limited in there because it's not what it's for. And the note taking aspects of things in Obsidian, unless you're going to try to create something from notes and need them linked together, it's not really necessary. If you're just lesson note, then it's just it's there.
So for me, mine is incredibly simple. Yeah, I could go for the whole like SEO outline nonsense crap that honestly I don't care about and never follow. Like when I write, it is literally what's in my head, slightly structured enough so it makes sense most of the time, and then it's published. So I have at the top, what's the purpose of the post? Why am I writing it? Especially if it's designed to be a value-based post. Then it's like, what are the points that I need or would like to cover? I have them here. What lessons are learned through this post? This doesn't necessarily mean that it's a lesson for everybody or something that I have learned from it, just so I can have a key takeaways section if I want to. And then if there's a piece of content that I have liked and I've clipped that would relate to a blog post, I can literally use the clipper to create a post. So say, for example, I see a post that I really like and I want to write something about it. I can literally clip that post into using the Save to Notion. I'll clip the post and have it as a resource. And then I do, because on my A&E, I have a relation that links back to my content calendar, and I literally go like post about this or idea about this and tag this section. So I already have things pre-created. So it's kind of like I don't want to say backlink because that's offensive, but like it links everything together in the way and connects things in the way that my brain works, so that I can come in and see the inspiration from other sources and bring them in, and also credit the other sources of inspiration that I've had. Then here, I just do a bullet brain dump. Whenever I come up with an idea that I want to create content about, I just bullet the shit out of it to start off. I literally just come down, this, this, that, whatever, and I just bullet like anything. And then from there, I take the bullets and I expand it into a post. I don't really have a set structure on how I write my content because I don't see the point. And then that's literally it. And then it comes from inside of here and I publish it in Ghost. And that is literally my blogging idea. And this also kind of works for videos as well. Like this is a bullet list of what I want to do. I just don't expand the bullets.
Nice.
And so I'll do the similar thing. So it is designed to be stupidly simple, removing all of the like, I've got to do SEO. I've got to think about the outline. I've got to have a structure. I've got to have this. I've got to have that. I've got to do this. Like I'm very much everything about what I do is summarized in these 3 points. What is the purpose or the priority of this post? I sometimes use purpose of the post or priority of what I'm doing. What does it need to cover? What I want to say in this post, and what am I trying to solve or brainstorm or fix as such? And that literally, like, as far as I'm concerned, that's what every single video, every single piece of content is all about. It's like, why are you doing it? What do you need to cut? What do you want to say? And what you're trying to figure out or what you're trying to solve for people. So that's basically my very simple content calendar. It's beautiful. Oh, and also there's of course this. So basically I have it published. So it's just like if the publish date isn't empty and the publish URL is not there, it's done. So at the moment, literally, I'm just like publish date is blah, publish URL has got something in it. It ticks. It's nice and simple, really easy. And then I can filter to see how many published posts I've done and count stuff and all that joyous stuff. So I need to connect it.
You mentioned clipping. Is your main
Yes.
clipping stuff going into your A&E database?
Yeah, so everything I clip is now in my A&E. Like everything I do, whether it's a video or whatever it might be, that when I'm clipping stuff, it goes into A&E, and I categorize it when I clip it.
Right.
So this is where I've added in that friction point, whereas before it was automatically done different forms. Now I literally have all of the options on my A&E, and I fill it in.
Okay.
And that, once again, is taken full inspiration from Notion Goth as well, because that's what she does, and it's a really nice idea, and I really enjoy it. It's simple. It makes me think. At the same time, it works for my brain, and it stops me from overthinking my content, because I have a tendency to overthink my content and overthink what I'm writing. If I just brain dump, like, lives are really good because I don't have to think. Like, me and Danny literally go, right, you ready to talk? Yeah, all right. And got an idea what we want to talk about? No.
We'll 2.5 hours later.
We'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, exactly. 2.5 hours later, we've gone from like, yeah. And so I'm trying to replicate that in any of my content to give me that freedom of just serendipity and like,
nice word.
Oh yeah, I want to write something about that. I like that. So it's interesting, and I can just brain dump.
Do you have a schedule for content, or is it very much when I feel like it?
So at the moment, I'm batching. Like I'm writing loads of content, and then I'm gonna create a natural schedule. I plan to do more frequent lives, but with my work, it's a bit.
That's what I was thinking.
Like I'm still trying to figure out how to schedule that in a way that fits and works for me. And because things change really quickly, because of course I do, like, I help people build and launch big projects, so I need to be flexible and be able to go and do something else. And so at the moment there is no set schedule. I won't just publish something all the time every day, because of the sake of, like, I like spreading things out
and sanity.
But my YouTube lives are going to come back, and they're going to be once every couple of days, maybe every day. I still don't know yet. I'm feeling it all out.
Right. Okay.
At this first moment. Yeah. Nice.
Just as a couple of final things, the Notion Goth was saying, I've got the SEO crap and don't follow it. SEO is useful to an extent, like to a limit. Depending on what platform, what medium you're going for, SEO has completely different weighting. Blog posts, if your SEO is bad, good luck trying to find it, unless obviously it's unique. On YouTube, SEO is nice, but there's more to it than just that. So yeah, SEO, I think SEO was certainly more important previously than it is now, because you can have things that have no SEO in there at all, but people like it, people talk about it, and it go viral, and then it rank at the top anyway.
And also it can be really simple.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like sometimes it doesn't need to be like stuff your keywords full of things. It's just, what are you talking about? Right. Okay. Make sure they're in the keywords. Like, just put them in there. It's fine. Yeah. And don't obsess with how much you do it.
Anyway, keyword stuffing goes against most terms and condition of websites and things anyway. So you can't do it, or you shouldn't do it.
No.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's 2 hours 40 almost. So I feel like it's a nice way to say goodbye to John.
It's fine. I had more to show, but it's fine.
Oh, if you've got more to show, go for it. I can't. Like, what else is there to show?
So I have I'm working on this one. So this is like for my offerings, like what I'm selling. So templates, consulting.
Okay.
It's kind of like what I so kindly call my playground. And so at the top, I have kind of like my offer creation and brainstorm. You'll notice the headings are still there. I just haven't changed them. This is not my stuff. This is from Worditude, which is a UK copywriter. She's very good. She's a client of mine. And then I have like all of these. I answer these questions, and then I brain dump a sales page by answering these questions. I'm going to zoom through so that you can go get this. And then I'm kind of moving on to the customer journey. So this is exactly what I do for my job as such outside of Notion is this. It is figuring out what tech to use to launch so that me and my team can launch comfortably and happily. And I have I have my tech deck, which I love, which is all of the tools that I have or that I use in my business. I have more than that. I just have a filter here set by whoever is me, a simplicity specialist. It's just me, and it shows those. And then literally whenever I do a launch for something, I can just drag and move it over here. At the moment, I can't because I'm obviously got to do this because Notion. But because for like a paid consult, yeah, because Notion, that's literally it. Whenever something goes wrong, it's Notion's fault. So for a paid consult, I know that I use specific tools. So I use this tool. So I drag it over. I'm in the template. So I pre-create it. Now I can get rid of that stupid Untitled thing because I don't need it anymore. And so I take payments for schedule once as well. So I know that. And I also have both of these. And so this is the same database. And all I'm doing is creating a filter that is used with paid consults. And so I know these are the things that I use. And then, of course, for the consult, I use Zoom. And so it's just there so that people can see, like, if I have a team, because I do have a team, it shows what it is. And then I kind of filter down whether it's the short-term, long-term paid products. And then I have people who have bought my stuff, which is obviously a beautiful self-referencing filter. And it is really nice.
Tech deck.
The tech deck is so good. I love my tech deck. And it's great for like storing your information and like, so when you do affiliate, so each of these links to my tech deck for each of these, you can see there. It just looks nice and it's visual and it's pretty and it tells exactly what's going on for each of my types of content. So yeah, that's that. That's what I have. That's what I have there. And that for now is all I can show.
Nice.
I might have shamelessly stolen. Yeah, you did. Yeah, the tech deck's an old template. I've had that for ages. The tech deck. It's when I first started Notion, I created one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point me showing my Notion. There's like nothing in it. Yeah, I don't really have anything in any apps worth showing. Yeah, I'm boring.
Yeah, you are boring. See. He's boring now. He's boring. I'm not boring.
I've got no app to show.
Shame on you. Spending all these times on apps,
and I don't.
And you don't even have anything to show for it
because I don't use
it all, doesn't it? I know. Why? Then what's the point in looking through them?
We've just spent like an hour and a half talking about it. Fun.
Yeah, true. And then there's just the pretty page, which is kind of nice.
I'm liking the new stuff.
So we were talking earlier about like websites and building a website. I could have created a page for people to book on for a live, and I just don't bother because I've just created it here in Notion, and it's an embed of my schedule once, details of the live, and then past live examples. Like, I could have done this as a database. I just couldn't be bothered.
Oh, past examples of the lives.
Yeah, so these are examples of lives that I've done in the past, so people can see what's happened. Eventually, I'm debating whether I'll connect this to a public, like, examples. I don't think I will because I don't like that.
Why only two? Obviously, we've done more. Is it just you pick the?
It's just pick the most recent two, because that was just the two I had to hand, and they can watch them and enjoy them. So yeah,
one from Twitch. Can you get the 4-hour one from Twitch? Or did we do that on YouTube as well? I can't remember.
That is the 4-hour one. Oh, I have that downloaded. Yes.
Okay.
I need to upload that to.
You could upload it to YouTube.
People want it uploaded?
You could upload it to YouTube if it's not on there already.
Did we stream it live to that? I don't remember now.
No.
I don't think we did we? I think that was a solo Twitch one.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, because I was thinking, obviously, Notion Goth, certainly get that one in there.
Yeah, we'll upload that one.
Make
that was
note.
Another one I did. Yes, I will. I will make a note.
Right. Well, you're still in
Absolutely.
charge.
Thank you very much.
Well, I can't.
And don't you forget it.
I can't end it.
Don't you forget it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Respect my elders.
Shut your face. Thank you very much for joining us on the final
Seasonal
episode of the Notion Nerds podcast live.
Season
of
finale.
This season finale. Yes. Finale, as it were.
Yep.
We will be back soon. Meanwhile, you can find us both on our respective channels. Do I have that up? No. Also, you can join the community Discord. Please do join the community Discord because that's the best place to keep in touch with both Danny and I. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep, probably. Either Discord or Twitter.
Either Discord or Twitter, which we're both on.
Who uses Facebook?
And yeah, well, I'm not really on Facebook either. The best place to get hold of me is Twitter and all that joyful stuff.
I love that.
And yeah, have fun. I know. We'll be back. We will return.
I'm holding him to it.
It's a TTFN.
I'm holding him to it.
Yeah. No, I will return. Absolutely.
Ta-ta for
I
now.
will see you again. Yep, very soon. So, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.